was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And today, for the first time, making her debut,
The
Bullet Queen,
Melly Mel.
hey!
Thank you guys.
And you making your debut on Wrestle Kingdom weekend!
And it was amazing.
Yes. Melissa, we were up to like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning talking.
Oh my god, yes. 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 o'clock in the morning talking about Wrestle Kingdom.
Well,
AJ, what are we talking about today? So?
the whole reason I even got to see some of Wrestle Kingdom was because she's like, go ahead, you can do it. Stay away.
You can stay away from Wrestle Kingdom.
We need more of that.
But
First, we always remind them where we're at.
oh, Rocky, huh? You know, we're in 2019, guys, and we're doing new things. We got a new look, we got a new logo, we got a new intro, a new Bullet Queen, and I got a new song.
You got a new song.
I got a new song.
You got a new song.
I got a new song.
Are we talking songs?
Oh, we're talking songs.
Are we talking vocals?
Oh,
right
we're
now?
talking vocals.
Are we talking about sing along with the champ?
Thanks, Steve. He's a good friend. He's a great friend.
I mean, the budget does provide water.
I was about to say that.
Please support us on Patreon though.
Ever since Moon's baby left him, he needed.
I'm sorry, bro.
You know, if you would have came out with some 3 count, I would have definitely been behind that.
It's a 3 count.
You know what? It's fine. It's
It's one of my classic things.
It's alright. Next week, I'm singing my goddamn song, no matter what. What we was talking about? I'm gonna count all you guys' sins.
Let's just get straight into it.
Yeah, what we talking about this week?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Can I
Oh,
have some decorum, please?
Well, the first thing is the bad news.
What's the bad news?
man.
And we gotta start the show on a somber note. Rest in peace, Mean Gene Okerlund,
Oh, definitely.
who was
Rest in peace,
the
Mean Gene.
voice of WWF.
Well, you know, Mean Gene. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Sorry.
And I don't.
Something Mean Gene. They told me that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now that was a good one.
That was
Yeah,
a good
that
one.
was
See, now that was a good impression.
That was a good one.
So, rest in peace, Mean Gene. I'm not too sure of what led to his demise, but
I seen it was a natural causes.
yeah, he was already up there in
Like
age.
89. Yeah.
But condolences to his family.
Absolutely.
He was a legend.
He lived a great life.
He was a soundtrack to a lot of wrestling fans' childhood. Outside of Jim Ross, Gene Okerlund's voice is iconic. So, on that note, rest in peace to Mean Gene.
Absolutely.
Condolences to
With-
his family.
Mean Gene actually coming back. Well, excuse me, dying. We have someone coming back on Raw, which is Hulk Hogan tomorrow night.
What? That's official?
It's official, and I feel like
Oh.
not to use Mean Gene's demise as a reason to bring Hogan, but this is a perfect reason to bring Hogan back, as opposed to what they try to pull with the Crown Jewel. To celebrate Mean Gene's life, we can accept Hogan being on television without the negativity of the past. Maybe
Absolutely.
we can use this as a healing moment for Hogan, and
Yeah.
he can proceed in his career.
I mean,
Yeah.
as long as he don't work himself into a shoe.
I know, right? Listen, brother, everything's alright. Just don't get caught.
Keep the marks marking until And don't whip yourself into a shoot, brother.
I mean, it would be good to see him back in the ring.
I mean, you can't
No,
have a WWF without Hogan though.
Exactly.
But I hope he doesn't do enough
I'm
performances.
pretty sure we can have a whole
No, I
WWF
don't
without Hogan. Yeah, did you miss?
I predict somebody's
It was a
gonna
little
interrupt
called
him,
the
though.
Attitude Era. I'm not sure if you missed it, but we had a whole section without Hogan, and it was pretty
Right.
successful.
But
Pretty
that era
damn
could not be written without the foundation that Hogan laid down.
Touche, sir. Absolutely right.
So when we teach our kids or we teach the next generation of,
Hogan's
wrestlers
omitted from
or
the
we-
history when I talk to my grandkids about it. Nope.
No, you
Nope.
can't.
Starts with Stephanie McMahon because she created wrestling. We love you, Steph.
Probably this
We love you,
universe.
Steph. We love you, Steph.
Probably this universe. Moving on, we have John Cena. He's doing his rounds for Bumblebee.
What?
The
John
movie.
Cena in the hair.
And he's pretty much blocking interviewers from asking any Nikki Bella. I think it's understandable.
Very
Why
understandable.
should they have to talk about his personal life? So
That-
how's that movie, man? Number
Well,
one movie
I
in the
mean,
world.
his life was personal on Total Divas. It's already out there. We already know they
Not
got
only
together.
that, I will never forgive their relationship for wasting a WrestleMania spot.
No.
You took the spotlight so you could get engaged. I'm sorry. Happy moment for you guys, but you wasted it. You guys didn't even make it to any wedding.
They didn't even last a year.
Not only that, Nikki is actually dating her Dancing with the Stars partner.
I didn't talk
So that
about
leads me to ask the question: how long was he in her back pocket during all this time and drama with John Cena? I'm pretty sure she was in Dancing with the Stars before WrestleMania, her WrestleMania moment.
Definitely was.
So if you was unsure then, maybe tell Vince, and we can have someone else in a good spot.
Maybe
Looking
like
at you,
that, man.
Finn.
But then again,
We're
while
looking
she
at
was
you,
on
Ryder.
while she was on Dancing with the Stars, John Cena was supporting her and was there half the time.
So don't you find it a little bit ironic that the person she goes into a relationship right after John Cena is her Dancing with the Stars partner? Possibly the only man outside of Cena she
That
spent
got
time
close
with.
to her like that.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So, damn you, Nikki Bella, you wasted a WrestleMania moment. I won't forgive
I
you.
mean, at the same time, while she was doing her thing, he was doing his thing.
What
And
thing was he
and
doing?
if
I mean,
anybody watched Total Divas,
His thing
he
was
was never there to actually do any of the wedding preparations because he was always traveling, doing his own thing. So,
And he had his rules. John Cena's rules.
oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Miz, for revealing a lot of those rules. I always love that segment. It's amazing.
That segment was fun.
That
Well,
segment was
moving
great.
on from that,
How the Miz is awesome.
we don't really care about their personal lives as much
Not
as
really. Nope, not
to
at all.
keep
Delete.
dwelling on it.
Yeah, delete that.
I just thought wasted WrestleMania spot. I kind of felt it was wasted then, and time told us it was a waste now.
The crowd liked it. I was there.
Eh.
It was that.
Yeah,
So, congratulations to Becky Lynch.
The man.
Yeah, the man. Hey.
She has been ranked CBS's Wrestler of the Year. So let's
Yes.
congratulate her
And
on
Sports
that.
Illustrated. And Sports Illustrated. And you can catch her because she's my number one woman 2018 on IGTV. Kayfabe Ave. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Yes.
So Don Callis says he's gonna have a sexier and edgier impact on Pursuit.
I like it actually.
I need more of that.
Actually, yeah, I like it. I think
I need more of that.
I feel like they were already kind of in that phase with the at least sexier. They never really backed down.
with the
on
hardcore stuff.
Diva style
I
of
feel like
promoting women.
it was aiming towards teenagers, but now I think they're gonna go towards more
Adults?
orientated stuff.
I mean, they
Yeah.
should.
I mean, cause when Don Callis is Cyrus the Virus of ECW, for those who do not
taking
know
it
that.
back.
the Extreme era and everything, that was he was part of that. So of course he might lend some insight into the booking and such, and making sure that it'd be more edgier.
I have no problem with the edgier. I like Impact. I think Tessa Blanchard,
So do you-
Sar,
Do you
Brian-
think they're trying to
Jordan
head towards their
No,
own
she's
like
not-
attitude era of?
maybe. And speaking
Broadcasting
of
style.
Jordan Grace was number 8 on Sports Illustrated top 10 women of 2018.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was number 8. She was either number 8 or number
She-
10. But she made the top 10. And she's Progress champion now too. I think.
Yes, he is.
Jordan Grace is
women's
rock girl.
champion.
Shout out for Gordon
Formerly
Grace.
held
Shout
by
out for Jordan
Toni
Grace.
Storm.
Yeah. Shout out to Tony. We support Tony Storm.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and those dickheads that did what they did might give you no attention. You're a dick. But while we're slightly segueing into this, not really, but ladies of the woman of the professional wrestling industry, stop putting naked pictures of yourself on your phone. I know it's yours, but you can see what happened. Just
Hell,
we.
I almost lost all my sound bites using the cloud. So
Like-
imagine naked pictures.
Exactly.
Stop
So,
it. It's
stop- just stop.
2019.
Yeah,
There's
people-
no excuse
You
for
should
it.
learn from my
People
mistakes.
shouldn't be
Word.
invading your privacy
They
to
shouldn't.
begin with, but it's so easy to lose your information in the cloud era.
And they want to see you.
Just
They-
stop.
They want to see you. So like, yeah.
They need more of that. They
But anywho, as far
Well,
as Impact moving,
speaking on that, the Tony Storm situation.
yeah, it's
So we
it's
support Tony Storm.
Yeah,
That's the
definitely.
hashtag that's going on Twitter because her pictures got leaked recently.
And she
Unfortunately
deleted
for
all
her,
her social media.
I'm not
accounts
condemning
because of
her.
it.
It's not her fault.
Absolutely not.
Whoever leaked it is an asshole. But ladies,
Stop.
even gentlemen, it's 2019. We had Seth Rollins leaked maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah,
It happens
word.
to the
Happens
men.
to everybody.
Dolph Ziggler got leaked by
They want to see them all.
what's her name? It's by Sunny.
They want to see them all, guys. Oh, like it doesn't matter, guys.
There's a
gals,
market.
doesn't
There's a
matter.
market for that.
Yeah.
So people are gonna buy the pictures just to get their website
Exactly.
views.
I mean,
Could
just,
be,
just look
could
at
be.
Brazzers offering Mandy Rose 1.5 million for a tape.
I think.
You see, but at least he's straight up offering her a business
I
situation.
think Corey Graves.
I want to
offers
see
1.8.
Corey.
Corey Graves offered
Well,
1.8.
he definitely shot his shot when he told her my DMs are open. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Twitter.
Oh man,
So-
Corey Graves is hilarious.
We were speaking about Dark Callis and Impact.
Yes.
So jumping off of that, we heard AEW turned down an offer to purchase Impact. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know how true that is. I don't think that's
I don't think Anthem would want to sell to AEW.
that too.
At
It
this
doesn't-
point,
it
it's
doesn't make
like
sense.
they spent so much of the last 2 years trying to reinvest into Impact and
Wouldn't
create,
smart.
make it their own thing. Why wouldn't you sell at this point?
Yeah, and also, but at the same time, AEW needs heels. As cool as they are, they need
Yeah.
heels. Because everybody, baby, we're not gonna buy SCU versus Young Bucks. Not gonna happen.
Not at all.
Not gonna happen. You guys are friends. You
Yeah.
guys are friends.
I wouldn't
We
even.
know- we
I
already
don't. I
know
won't
this.
even. I don't even want to see Young Bucks versus like any other member of the league. That's why we need. Hopefully, this rally in Jacksonville that they're starting is gonna
January 8th.
reveal
Ooh, right down
the
street from
roster.
SmackDown,
And that's
yeah.
what I'm hoping.
I don't think it's
for
gonna
more
be a
than
full
anything.
reveal, but I think we're gonna get some more people.
I mean, we've definitely got. You'll cover
Yeah, we'll talk about
AEW,
AEW,
but
we'll
we
get
definitely
there,
got
yeah.
people signing up already. We were just speaking about
Interesting
Mandy
news.
Rose loosely, and Mandy Rose is actually being rumored to be set for a push.
Good. I like Mandy Rose.
She's good. Like,
Yeah.
we'll get more onto shout outs and stuff like that, and the whole issue with
Sonya
the
Deville
women.
Oh,
doesn't,
it's Sonya
doesn't
Deville.
doesn't get put in the shadow.
But
I
she's
think they're
been
gonna
the
kinda-
most improved if you think about it. Coming from Tough Enough, she already had that look and athletic.
They're probably gonna push Sonya Deville for another reason.
Oh, she's been getting pushed.
That
seriously.
and also
A lot.
Sonya. Oh my gosh! Okay, you know we watch wrestling while we talk about wrestling, and this is the moment on Raw when Stone Cold first started Vince McMahon. But Sonya Deville might get a
Yeah,
push
they actually
because
been building it for 3 weeks at this
they
point.
were
Building
just
to Stone Cold starting his.
because Stone Vince never been touched at this point.
Yeah.
They didn't know he was the owner.
Because on
at
the
this
last episode, JR was like, "Oh, who's he's gonna touch next? Will it be me? Will it be Mr. McMahon? Will
point. Ooh.
it can be any one of you?"
You see these little tidbits
So,
in there. We just
Yeah, I mean, I like rewatching.
Sonya Deville is part of the LGBTQ community, so
Yes.
they might be pushing.
She's the first ever openly.
So that is a whole market all in itself.
Yeah.
So
She's
they
the
might.
first ever woman in the wrestling industry to
Really?
open up her.
And Sonya Deville is good in the ring. So you
Yeah.
know that's goes hand in hand. What else we got next, sir?
We have the Christmas tapings. Unfortunately, the ratings dropped, but
SmackDown.
that's understandable.
The A-show
Who's
one.
gonna sit down to watch on Christmas? Most people with their families. The good thing, the New Year's episodes did rebound, so
Yeah.
there's some progress. With this new era,
New era, pal. New era, pal.
Next up, which is a topic that I really wanted to discuss, and I really wanted a spotlight in the future, is
Mm.
the ninth wonder of the
Spotlight.
world, China. Her parents have been calling,
man.
calling to the arms for a push for China to be in the Hall of Fame, and
Mm.
I definitely agree. She should have been in it years before she died. Even
Her reason.
she should have been in it.
Their reasoning for not having it in there is stupid because they said, "Oh, because people are gonna look up and see who China is." Okay, it
We
takes
can
two-
look that
it takes
up
two
for
to
almost
tango.
anybody.
Who else is in there? Sean Waltman. Who's in there?
Hogan's in there.
Come on, like that's a BS.
Hogan
reason. It's
Hogan
BS
caught a
reason.
sex tape scandal, and he caught a racist scandal off of the same tape. Let's get off of
That's
that.
the word.
Let's get off of that. We're
Come
adults.
on.
We know the
Still-
contribution that China did. whatever happened to her after WWF and after her wrestling career folded, that's her personal life.
Absolutely. China definitely
So,
needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Her parents are on the internet, on Twitter, promoting that, and X-Pac actually came up and showed his support for that.
She needs to be in there.
You know, X-Pac used to have a relationship with Jody Laura, which is China, and they had a back and forth kind of love-hate situation going on. A lot of controversy in that relationship. So a lot of bad blood also.
I mean, China's
at the end of that
arguably-
relationship. So for him to come out and champion for her to be in the Hall of Fame, it's a matter of time. I think the fans wanted it.
I mean, China's arguably the greatest woman. I don't even think it's an argument. China's
It's
the
not argument.
greatest woman
She's
wrestler of all
the
time.
only female intercontinental champion.
That would never happen again.
2 times.
That would never happen again.
Yeah.
First
that
woman
would
in the
never
Royal
happen.
Rumble match.
It was believable. Like when China fought the guys for the maybe our younger viewers, we got some younger viewers. When China fought guys, it was not oh this is a woman. It was like oh man, like China's gonna
You know,
kick this guy's
yeah.
ass. Like,
To put it into bigger perspective, we call Chris Jericho the GOAT.
and she beat Chris
If
Jericho.
it wasn't for China getting locked in a feud with Jericho, we probably would have never got the Jericho we have now.
We wouldn't have.
Big
Because
push,
his
yeah.
whole push happened based off working with China.
Yep.
So, I think Kayfabe Ab definitely agrees. We got 4 votes, I'm guessing.
Yes.
China in the Hall of Fame.
China in the Hall of
this year.
Fame.
China in the Hall of
China in
Fame.
the Hall of Fame this
Hashtag
year. Hashtag China in the Hall of Fame.
We have just a few short months to WrestleMania 35, and what better way for the fans to be heard than actually putting China in the Hall of Fame?
We need more of that.
More of that. More of China in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely.
What we got next up?
So Daniel Bryan doubling down on his persona and his environmental awareness and
that. Okay.
fickle
Fickle.
fans.
More of that.
He's dubbing himself the planet's champion,
Yes.
not the people's champion.
The planet.
Daniel Bryan is the planet's champion.
He's like
It's
Captain
good.
Planet.
It's good.
Yes, I was literally
Captain
I was
Planet?
Captain Planet.
Heart.
I'm a Planeteer, and you can be one too.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well,
of,
he's
Captain
definitely
Planet.
top planeteer in WWE, and his storylines are definitely blending in his personal feelings and his personal motivations.
Those make for the best characters.
So yeah,
We've seen this.
the champion of the planet.
This is how we
the
get
new
Stone
Daniel
Cold.
Bryan.
This is how I'm not comparing them, but this is how we get Stone Cold and Rocks and all that.
Stone
Because you just
Cold.
take their
Stone Cold.
personality, amp it up to 10, and this is where you get badass characters. So kudos to Mr. Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan.
So a funny
What do I have?
statistic I came across: WWE put out their most wins of 2018, and it's
What's around
weird
it?
to see who's on this list and the order they're in, because
Start from the least. Start from like was it like we have like a top 3, top
we have a
5?
top 5.
Go start from
So for
5.
number 5, we have AJ Styles with 26 wins.
He's a WWE champion.
WWE champion 371 days, and he's had 26 wins.
Just put that
I mean,
in perspective. Put that in perspective, people.
He's been putting people over at the same time as actually winning his championship matches. So next up, we have Asuka at 27,
That's hard to believe.
and that is hard to believe because she was on a big losing streak.
Everybody's been getting, and so basically everybody's been getting buried as has the most. Well, not well, AJ's been getting buried.
She's number 4,
Wow.
most wins.
Wow.
At number 3, we have Braun Strowman with 29.
Surprised only 29. Only 29?
29.
This is TV. This has to be just TV. This has to be just TV.
This is directly from the WWE Instagram.
This has to be just
This is
TV.
their stats.
They can't be counted how.
Finn Balor at 31 wins,
Okay.
and Seth Rollins at 35.
Who's number 1?
Was it Mojo Rawley on the list?
No.
Mojo Rawley, that man got like 2 wins, and they got
No,
pushed
no,
right back
he's
down.
up there when it comes to winning streaks.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's
on that
crazy.
list.
Really?
Not on TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like that. That has to be TV. That can't be house shows. That can't be because they wrestled more than 29 times.
So some good news. We have a little health update per Seth Rollins, and it seems like Roman Reigns is in good health.
Hey. Yes, definitely support Roman.
So hopefully he's
Hashtag
recovers his-
cancer sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Cancer
Hashtag
is,
Connor's cure.
Yes.
hopefully he makes a speedy recovery and
Here
he
now.
comes back. In hindsight, it's like I do miss Roman. He was so much in our faces, so much on TV that it's kind of weird not seeing him there. You know.
Rumors has it he might host WrestleMania.
I don't think that'll be.
I mean
Might.
that makes sense.
As much as I love Roman,
Rumor,
as
might.
much as I love
And then
Roman,
the rumor is that The Rock is gonna be there as well.
Rumors
so.
are The Rock is going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah. So obviously,
The
We
most
already know The
electrifying
Rock,
man
Roman,
turns
their
it into
family.
the most electrifying Hall of Fame.
Ever?
that'd be
Probably
awesome.
will be.
That would be awesome.
So for all you Saturday morning cartoon kids that grew up watching Power Rangers, Jason David Frank is actually going to be wrestling.
Agree with
He's
you.
making his debut at Laredo Wrestling Alliance in Texas.
Nice. That's interesting.
Mhm.
That's
Now,
interesting.
the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Ranger, Black,
The many rangers.
and the Rainbow Ranger.
Lord Dracon, I think they call him.
You know, he's a lot of things to children, but he's also an MMA fighter.
Mhm.
Real deal. Actually has a lot of wins. Challenged CM Punk recently, so maybe
I remember that. I remember when
maybe like 2 years ago he challenged CM Punk's
Yeah.
actual MMA fight when
Well, of
CM Punk
course-
was trying to
Of
transition.
course, CM Punk didn't want no parts of that.
CM Punk didn't want no parts of an MMA fight with Jason David Frank.
Nobody wants.
He was
parts
just
of that.
starting. Like you're gonna throw yourself into it. Like
I
come
mean, he threw himself into the fire regardless of how you see it, and you know I respect Punk for what he gave us. It wasn't the best showing, but I respect any man that puts two gloves on and gives his all.
This is true.
Um,
This is true.
But who knows down the line, will Jason David Frank actually get to see CM Punk in the ring?
Maybe.
Rumors
see.
are AEW might be scouting CM Punk or CM Punk might be interested. So
I could definitely see that.
never know. So a big topic that was on Twitter was Nia Jax's response to the WWE recognizing the women's accomplishments of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax put something to the effect of, "We're here too." She felt that women of color were left off of the actual promotional ad they had for the best women of
I
2000.
agree with her. Yep. I agree with her.
I'm kind of on the fence with it because I felt like it wasn't intentionally on a racial thing, and she took it there. The women that were featured outside of maybe the Iconics, that I could see where people have their, you know, they're on the fence with that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. As much as we can complain about Nia Jax and all that, and her being botched, and I've complained about Nia Jax. She did have a WrestleMania match. She did win a WrestleMania match. Naomi did win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like, I think she made a great point. I don't think she should have been
Nia personally, outside of her WrestleMania win and her one fight with Ronda, what did she do the entirety of 2018?
That's
Break
what I'm
Becky's
saying.
face.
That's it.
That's
Now,
what I'm saying. I think she made a great
that
point.
wasn't even
I don't
in the
think
win.
it should have been.
that was by mistake.
I don't think that
Now
was.
I felt she had no right to feel left out because she really didn't do much than everybody else. Outside of the Iconics, we had Carmella. Carmella was 2-time Money in the Bank winner, women's champion, and she held down SmackDown for the majority of the time before Becky Lynch picked the ball up.
She beat Charlotte and Asuka twice.
Now,
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
controversial or
You
not,
remember.
Carmella was the Enzo Amore on the mic, and she was doing big things. Who else? Becky Lynch. That goes without speaking. Charlotte. That goes without speaking. Who else was on that list?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but the rest. But I felt she took it left, and Ty Dillinger actually chimed in, and he says maybe instead of like whining and complaining, maybe you hone your craft because
Yeah, she definitely does need
those
to hone her craft.
you weren't really deserving yourself.
She definitely needs to hone her craft.
So we have Vince McMahon on Eddie Guerrero. Vince McMahon's first thoughts of Eddie, he said that he instantly knew that out of the Radicals, he was the one that was going to be big from the jump. So, I mean, it's a testament to Vince scouting people, actually seeing their potential before they even know it.
Yeah.
No, well, that's because Eddie Guerrero had more charisma than all of the Radicals.
And just his in-ring.
Especially being
his
Malenko.
in-ring.
His
The
in-ring
exact quote
performance.
was, he was a small guy that can work like a giant. He made himself look larger than life. So, I agree. Eddie Guerrero was one of the best. Next up, we have Davey Boy Smith signs with MLW. And a weird thing. He trademarked the Heart Foundation. Can he even do that? Doesn't WWE own the
He just
trademark to Heart
He
Foundation?
just trademarked
I guess he's cool.
it. He just
Somebody
It's
trademarked
crazy
it.
trademark
because we've
office
had the Heart
wasn't paying
Foundation
attention.
literally in
Trademark it.
WWF.
Davey Smith was wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom. It's interesting they wouldn't let him wrestle for Impact when he signed with MLW. So there's some interesting things
Some
going on.
dissension.
But
We
yeah,
have another
yeah, but Don Callis-
interpromotional partnership. We have the NWA partner with Ring of Honor for the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament.
That's gonna be exciting for you young folks who don't know who Crockett is. He's one of the pioneers of the, I don't want to say the territories of wrestling as far as the territories go. Go Google. Go Google.
Well,
Go
this specific
Google
tournament
wrestling.
was held in the 80s. It went about, I'm thinking 5 years, and then it was canceled. So NWA in this reemergence in 2018 is trying to bring back the classic matches and the classic events. So the Crockett Cup is definitely something to watch. One of the biggest names that got made during the original Crockett Cup were the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors.
Oh, rush.
So, you know, big things for tag team wrestling. We have Kenny Omega
The best
receiving a
dog
$3.5 million offer to join the WWE.
Woo.
That's a lot of money.
That, listen, if anything gave these guys the money shakes on being the elite, it'd be $3.5 fucking million. Focus got the money shakes over there.
I don't know what you guys talk. I'm just saying 205 Live is a great show.
Well, yeah.
Alright, we're gonna get to some more elite wrestling.
So
pretty soon.
next up we have the possible return of Trish and Lita as a tag team
Hey, because now that
for the Women's
now they
Tag Team
finally announced
Championship.
these
So
the women's
we
tag
might
team.
see
Yes.
them actually
Yes.
teaming up throughout 2019, chasing
More of
those
that.
titles.
More of that.
We have the Bullet Club Block Party,
BCBP.
Club.
which
Listen,
we're more
we're
than
going,
likely
listen,
going.
we're going, all right? Because
So-
we both clubbed out today, okay?
We'll bring you guys footage.
This is This Week in Wrestling. I can't say it's the Bullet Club episode, but
Well, we're all Bullet
we
Clubbed
should
out.
do another Bullet Club.
We
episode.
introduced the Bullet Queen on this one
Yes.
since Brandy doesn't need the name anymore.
Should
It's
It's
nightmare
fine.
now.
I mean, would love permission to
We
hold down
almost
the name.
lost
Just say, right?
one of the greatest current ring announcers on the planet right now.
Oh, yeah.
Mauro Ranallo, that's how you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah.
his last name.
Mamma Mia!
He was in a car accident. Another driver came, sideswiped him, and there was heavy damage to the car. Yeah, he
Yeah,
totaled
yeah.
his car. But good thing he's fine, and we still have him to call NXTs.
Thank God.
Yes.
God bless.
So Kane, Glenn Jacobs, which is Kane in WWF, and Tom Pritchard are opening a wrestling school in Knoxville, Tennessee, called the Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy. So anytime we have more wrestling schools available is a good thing for us.
That's great.
And that's about it. That's all I have.
Okay,
You want to
cool.
segue into your AEW news?
Yes. So as we all know, on the latest episode of Being Elite, the Elite, the announcement was a fine. I mean, we all knew. We speculated. We talked about it. The trademarks were out. We pretty much knew. But we got the official news. All Elite Wrestling is official. Double or Nothing going to be their first event. And just to give people a little background on it, Tony Khan is the son of Saya Khan, and just to give a little comparison in money, their net worth is $6.3 billion. That's a Cohen family, that's funding All Elite Wrestling. The McMahon family is worth $2.9 billion, and Vince is expected to spend $500 million over the next 3 years with XFL. So I know they're getting the Fox money, and I know they got the Saudi Arabian money. But the Cohen family, and I think the best thing about this as wrestling fans is
The Khan family?
the Khan family.
Yeah.
Tony is a lifelong wrestling fan.
That's good.
So this
That's
isn't a guy
why
that
he got his father into this situation at all.
This isn't a guy. I'm just saying, like, this isn't a guy that just happened to just watch All In one day. Was like, oh, that looks cool. Let's do something with that. No, he knows wrestling. He's been a lifetime wrestling fan. So for us as wrestling fans, that's a really
Well, you
really
get
big
your
thing.
father to give up $100 million. You got to be a big
And
fan.
that's starting.
to start.
That's start. That's one of the.
I mean,
the
granted
biggest
that
investment.
all goes to like hiring your talent, equipment, sound, equipment, staging, contracts for rosters and backstage personality. So it's got to be stretched out.
Absolutely. I want to read.
And pay-per-view budget.
I want to read this quote that Cody posted. I mean, you probably have seen it. I mean, everybody's probably up on AMDB. I'm just giving everybody just the everything that we know so far. But he put up this really interesting quote, and I feel so damn lucky. I believe that more than talent, more than choice, work ethic will guide me where I'd like to go. To be executive vice president of our new venture and to be flanked by Matt and Nick and a few familiar faces sharing that position. This is my dream job. I can't think of a time where so many wrestling's top agents have all opted out to the road usually traveled and instead wanted to start something new. I am excited to see AEW into existence. What's old isn't new. What's new is new. Perception isn't reality. Reality is reality. Fans first. I mean, there's nothing more I can say to personify AEW more than that. It's fans first. We have wrestling fans who became wrestlers running a wrestling company that's right. You see
real
the
question
money
is,
comparison.
Did Cody learn off of the mistakes of his father and
I think
the
that's,
running of WCW
I think
and
that's really obvious.
TNA?
I think they definitely did. That's really yeah.
They definitely got experience advantage, especially Cody growing up around WCW because his father, and then going through the WWE system himself as a wrestler. He has a lot of advantage. I just hope they learned their lesson because
I definitely think they did. I think they definitely learned
we
a
go
lesson.
through the WCW.
We've seen
and
it
then
twice. We've seen it twice. We've seen it
It
happen.
happens to TNA.
We've literally seen it happen with. I think the guys are a lot smarter than the guys. I know Eric Bischoff is a genius in wrestling, but I think the Bucks and Cody are a lot smarter than those guys. They have a lot of the guys.
Cody has officially been the executive vice president along with the Bucks.
There's also this guy named B.J. Whitmer. He used to work for Ring of Honor.
He was part of the decade, mind you.
Yeah,
With Roderick Strong and Jimmy Jacobs.
Yep. See, and he was a big part of booking backstage at Ring of Honor, and now he's left Ring of Honor and working with All Elite. So they're building their team. Like they sat back and they've thought about this. It's interesting. Chris Jericho, JR, and Goldberg are all rumored to be involved with AEW. I think if Goldberg is involved, that he's gonna have like a special attraction match. I don't think anyway Goldberg. They know
I mean, he's
they know
past
their
his
audience.
prime, obviously.
Exactly. They know their audience. They're not gonna sit there and here Goldberg, here's the belt. No, they're not. They're not.
They're gonna Brock Lesnar.
They're not gonna.
I mean, at this point, who can actually go toe to toe with Goldberg at this point?
Brian
Cage.
They said, that
Brian
would be
Cage is
really
contracted to
interesting.
Impact.
That would be really interesting. I
They
mean,
got Don Callis.
I think Impact, honestly, would be so open to having an open relationship with AEW. It would benefit both. I think it would it's gonna benefit. It would benefit New Japan to have an
Well,
open relationship.
AEW has a meeting with Ring of Honor and New Japan, I believe today or
Yeah.
Monday.
And speaking of one of the people that might be in AEW or might not be in AEW, I want to actually read this quote from one Kenneth Omega. Yes, Kenneth.
Listen,
Did you see him
someone
on
who
the
said
cover?
that
Tyson?
recently. Someone called him
Because-
Kenneth last time, and I'm
Because
like,
he was on the cover of.
I can't take the fact Kenny is already his face.
He was in the cover.
We throw Kenneth on that.
Oh no! He was on the cover of GQ Japan, and somebody called him. So it was I think it was a meme. Somebody called him Kenneth, or maybe the interviewer called him Kenneth. I'm
Kenneth-
not sure.
I think
that
that's
guy.
a very Chris Jericho thing to do.
Yeah,
Calling people Kenneth, because remember he used to call Randy Randall or
Randall. Yeah.
Randall Orton.
Oh, Matt Hardy, brother Keith.
All right.
Are you back?
Yes, we are back. Sorry, I had to fix my IG live. But there's something that he said. One time when he was on a Wrestling Observer, he said, the main reason I would go to WWE is because I would love to have a match against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. If I'm being truthful, before AJ hangs it up and before I start to degenerate as an athlete, I really want to have a big match with him on the biggest stage possible. So that is one of my career goals.
And before the elite marks go in the uproar, do you blame Kenny Omega for really wanting to fulfill that WWE
A
wish
lot of
list?
people may not know that AJ Styles is the reason why Kenny Omega, he was going to quit wrestling. Omega was done with wrestling until he had a match with AJ Styles number of years ago, and the way he's seen AJ work, he was like, oh my, like I have to. He basically seemed like I got to step my game
He
up.
said
step
there's
my shit
another
up.
level I have to achieve.
Basically work. He was at Super Saiyan. AJ was at like a Super Saiyan 3, and he seen it. He was just like, oh, you were just toying with me the entire time.
Nah, I think at that point AJ was God. Super Saiyan God.
Where he was Vegeta, like, Kakarot. You know what I'm saying? So now I think it makes sense. As much as I would not want Kenny Omega to go because of the creativity, if there was ever a time for Kenny
It's
to
not.
go, this is the chance because he said
What?
before AJ hangs it up and before as an athlete, before he starts to, because the style he works, honestly, he probably will only
Not
have
only
like
that,
3-4
why
movies of that.
jump straight into AEW when you know you got your family there? When you could take this year of building, go to WWE, get more fans, more spotlight, and then
More
take that to AEW if you want.
Because I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. I think we can all agree
Like,
that he's
I mean,
not
he
gonna
might
stay
end up
with
loving WWE and actually.
creativity. It's the creativity. Unless he can get something where he can tell the story that because we know Kenny Omega.
But you also got to think
It's all
about the
creativity.
financial stability. You got to think about the accolades.
I want to say this
You
one
got
more
to
time.
think about if
The
he
Cohen
comes in
family,
on the level.
6.9 billion. They just started off with 100 million. They just started off with 100
Yeah, but
million.
that just because they're worth that much money doesn't mean that money's not capped in their own ventures.
Absolutely.
He owns the Jaguars.
But they just started with
So-
100 million. They just started
No,
with
no,
100 million.
that's a crazy budget.
But I'm saying they're gonna
Yeah,
go head to head. The thing is,
Well, there's a bidding
I'm
war
saying
right now
that
between
because
those
they
companies.
actually have the money to go head to head with them. That's one reason I'm saying that because they have the money to just be like, you know what, I
But-
want Kenny.
These guys on the forums and stuff. Oh, Omega's reign was trash. Oh, he's a detriment
No,
to wrestling.
Guido is smart. Is a smart booker. Why am I gonna make Kenny Omega have this legendary title run when I'm pretty sure they knew months ago? Gedo and all the New Japan knew. Oh, these guys are leaving. They knew Cody and the Elite. They knew they were leaving. So why am I gonna give them a legendary run for him to just say bye bye like AJ Styles
They've
did
been
a couple
teasing
of
this
years ago?
since before the Jericho Cruise. They've been teasing this.
So
And
yeah.
that was in October.
This is what happened in New Japan 3 years ago with Shinsuke, AJ, and the Good Brothers. So why would they repeat this again? Fade the Elite.
Shinsuke had to vacate the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, so why, give them their platform, but at the same time, slow them, edge them out, build Bullet Club, the new Bullet Club, the Cutthroat era, i.e., you know, and then that's it. So when the Elite leave, it's not like you have this big void and there's nothing. You got to build these new guys up. They leave, boom, balance, smart. People, come on.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, New Japan's gonna suffer. You weren't a fan of New Japan then.
You're a
You're a fan of the Elite.
You're a fan of the Elite.
Like first of all, if you're a real fan of wrestling, and the Elite brought me into watching hardcore New Japan for a fact, but they also showed me how good the other talent is. So if you're a fan of wrestling, you're gonna stick around regardless. So that
Yeah.
New Japan's gonna suffer without Kenny Omega. Like
Kenny Omega
Really?
didn't have these 7-star matches by himself. He didn't go into the match and wrestle by himself.
and he didn't do it with the Elite half the time. He did it with the Japanese stars out there.
Exactly. So they're New Japan wrestling gonna be fine.
Not only Japanese, he also wrestled with Lucha Libres.
Yeah, I mean he's been all over.
Facts.
He's been
Yeah.
all over.
He had a match with Phoenix like a couple of months ago, which was awesome.
And
Poughkeepsie.
Pentagon.
Yeah. Oh, at all.
That was a good ass
At all
match.
in. At all. How did you feel about all in?
She's just
So
rubbing
go
it.
ahead. How did you feel about?
She's just rubbing
That
it.
was an amazing experience to be at All In. The
Hey.
first ever All In. Rumors has it All In 2
Double or nothing.
in New York. Come on.
Double or nothing.
Come on.
Can you imagine?
I
Oh,
need
we'll
more
be
of
there. More of that. More of that.
Just
And that's
rubbing
all.
it.
Yes, yes.
She
That
put elbows.
All right.
Like,
That's
I had to
all.
spit it in there like.
So AJ, we're up to. Oh, actually, no. Before, listen, we're live. Excuse us, guys, for just one quick second. Do you want to do
And then I'm ready.
Raw, SmackDown, and then Wrestle Kingdom, or Wrestle Kingdom then Raw? I'd
And
rather
then,
do.
and then
No.
we
I
Wrestle
think we
Kingdom.
should end it with Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Let's end it on the.
That's the last.
Raw and SmackDown was.
That's the last thing to talk about.
All right, cool. So.
Well, starting off.
Segue.
Yeah, starting off with Raw. Now, I don't have a full detailed breakdown of Raw because, of course, these were
Hope you
pre-tapings.
so good. I didn't watch Raw.
You know.
I didn't watch Raw.
So
Who does? Who does?
I do. Anyways,
I catched up on it.
I watched the clip with Seth Rollins and Triple H.
yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest. That was one of the biggest points,
Is Balor
but
on Raw this week?
huh?
Is Balor on Raw this week?
Yeah.
He was. Of course he is. He's getting a push. So yeah, of roses.
So, anyways, one of the biggest points coming off of this Raw was Seth Rollins kind of being groomed in the same light of AJ Styles on SmackDown. They're literally running the same storyline on two shows. Now, my theory behind this is they're trying to amp both wrestlers on each show to eventually collide. Maybe at WrestleMania, maybe before then, but I have a big feeling that that's the idea behind doing it with AJ and doing that with Seth. So,
You can see that.
If not, grab the idea.
yeah.
WWE, listen.
I mean, I go back, watch the
we
show. I
always
make
say
a
ideas.
lot of predictions. I make a lot of suggestions that end up panning out.
I mean, their gimmick now is listen to the fans. Hello.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
Facts.
basically, Seth Rollins comes out demanding his IC title rematch, and Triple H interrupts him and tells him with the new directive of the new era, we're not giving anybody guaranteed rematches. That rematch clause shit is out the window. So
Less of that.
he
Less
tells
of that,
Seth,
facts.
I want to see more of the old Seth. The Seth I believe could be like the face of Raw, the face of the brand. So I guess Seth heard him. Moving on, we have Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage match, which was a good match back and forth, but it pretty much ends with the man Drew McIntyre destroying your boy Dolph Ziggler.
Damn.
They had a spot where Dolph goes for his move, reverse Claymore kick. He gets back up, an even more devastating Claymore kick.
Oh.
He gets pinned, continues to get his ass whipped, and gets two more Claymore kicks.
Damn. This
So-
is Drew over at the killer, huh?
Yeah, I literally have in my notes like Drew destroys. Pretty much that leads to Drew McIntyre announcing he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble.
Nice. More of that.
We have the Triple H Seth angle. Rollins has a match with Lashley, and this is where I say that he actually listened to Triple H, and he ends up losing by disqualification. Hits Lashley with the steel chair,
Ooh.
then
Oh my
proceeds
God.
to destroy the Moth, the
that
man
was
of the hour.
beautiful.
The mall. I didn't get caught. I can't.
Yeah, the Moth, man
I
of the
had to think about it for
hour.
a second. What the fuck is the mall?
Oh man.
24-year-old piece of gold.
He wasn't screaming that.
No.
He wasn't screaming that. He was getting his ass beat by a chair.
Dominate him.
You
Well,
guys screaming.
Seth Rollins literally burned him
Yeah.
down
Hit him.
to the ground.
Dominate.
Hit him with the. Is he calling it the burn it down? Or that's what I.
I think
That's what it comes to mind when I
just call
think
it burn
the
down. They
foot
just call it
stomp,
burn down. Yeah,
the
they
curb
call it
stomp,
burn
whatever
down.
it
Curb
is.
stomp.
Yeah. They just call
So
it
yeah,
burn down.
Rollins loses by disqualification. We're starting to see that fire from
Good.
Seth
More of
Rollins.
that. More of that.
And one of the biggest things coming out of Raw is the continued push of Apollo Crews. He ends up in a battle royal for the #1 contendership for the IC title,
Stop.
and
Stop.
he ends up being the last two with Baron Corbin.
Hey.
He goes on to later face Dean Ambrose the same night. They have a great match where they actually said he was dominating damn near the entire match until Dean pretty much pulled out the victory out of left field.
Okay.
So Apollo's looking good in his rise, and
Just please
let's
stop.
hope it's more of that.
It's just that I keep that I did the start because that's what they do with his push. It's like,
Yeah.
don't forget about it. Like hey pal, what about that Apollo guy? Y'all gonna give him a push? Well, Vince, we were doing it 2 weeks ago. Oh pal, do it again. That you did 2 weeks ago, Vince. Well, do it again, pal. Yeah.
You know what? I just think that Vince thinks that Apollo Crews is Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I get confused.
He is.
Yeah.
He has no personality. Let's be real.
That's the issue.
He's amazing in the ring, but has he like captivated the audience once?
I don't think we need another heel. I don't think we need another heel, but it would have been cool to see Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews and
Tag
Leo
team?
Rush be together. But
Listen,
we
I
don't
love them to
but
make
we
like
don't need
a,
a-
like
we
a
don't need another heel, though. We
modern
don't need a heel.
Nation of Domination with those guys. They can do that. Both big guys, huge guys. Apollo's athletic as hell.
I don't think WWE would touch because I don't think WWE touched that just because of the political climate they went, especially their
I think that's the perfect reason to
I
touch
think,
it.
but just It would be, but with the political climate and them being so affiliated, I think you can still form a Nation of Domination-esque like group, but it doesn't have to be about race. It could be about we just happen to be all black guys and black girls coming together, and we're just gonna whoop ass.
I mean, it sounds like something that Bobby Lashley would start his finish as the Dominator. So
That would be dope. That would be dope. I agree.
So
Still ideas.
more than
that's
that.
pretty
More
much
of that.
Raw. That was the highlights of the Raw. Again, it was a tape show. The viewers did bounce back for the New Year's Eve edition of Raw, and I'm hoping that now we're out of that pre-taped situation.
Mhm.
We actually get to see more of this new era and more of this
Hopefully.
fan service push they're trying to do.
More of that.
Hopefully.
And we'll find that out tomorrow on
This
tomorrow's
is
Raw.
such a
Yeah.
random.
So
I mean, we watch wrestling. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, good.
No, I was gonna say we watch wrestling while we talk about wrestling. It's just this random pairing of just Goldust. It's not random for the time, but just Goldust versus Bret Hart. I don't remember what's going on in the storyline right now, so it's just
well,
kind
at
of weird.
this point,
Anywho,
Brett's like in his super Canadian phase.
oh, this is when he's
Americans-
Canadian. It's the Canadian hero phase.
Yeah, Americans
I
are
love this
the
Bret
worst.
Hart. This
And
is the
Goldust
best
is
Bret
going
Hart.
through something with Brian Pillman where
When he stole Marlena.
stole Marlena,
Oh, that was ahead of the
which
time.
is Terry.
Way ahead of the time. Way ahead of the time. Way ahead
Yeah,
of the time.
so moving on to SmackDown.
Moving on to SmackDown, the A show. SmackDown started off with the New Day promo, and it was very funny. The New Day, and
Oh, I can't agree.
Big E came out dressed up as a baby
I can't agree.
because
That's not funny to me.
wrestling.
That's
Well,
not funny to me.
Some people thought it was funny.
That is the problem. It's too fluffy. I don't want to see the New Day in diapers throwing pancakes out their bowls. Like I want to see.
Steiner's match
Hold
incorrectly.
on.
Yeah, he
We
did
gonna
do
get to
Steiner
that.
Maffer
We're gonna
correct, too.
get to that. So Big E came out dressed as a baby because wrestling. They all entered themselves into the Royal Rumble, and because they're a 3-man team, and there'll be 3 of them in there, they probably have a 33% chance of winning. They did a lot of Steiner math. I didn't understand. Neither did you. Didn't try like you did. Exactly. They made fun of. They said they should go after the Universal title because if they went after Brock, he probably wouldn't show up because he doesn't show up to work anyway. That was funny. And then Kofi went on like this passive aggressive rant, like, "Yeah, man, he doesn't show up to work. I'm here every day, and I show up and I do this and so there were some parts in there. There was some
And
truth in
he
it.
does have quite highlights.
He
You know,
does.
Kofi Kingston during every Royal Rumble he has entered. So we'll see what comes up
He's
for
not
this
winning.
Royal Rumble.
Of course not. No.
He's not winning it.
Of course not. Unfortunately, he's not. And this will all lead to somehow the segue into a match with Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. And the winner of this match will go on to be in a 5-way main event to determine the #1 contender for the new Daniel Bryan's #1 Daniel Bryan's WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. That was a
mean
mouthful.
The Planet
The
Champion.
planet's
The
champion.
Planet Champion, the new Daniel Bryan,
The
the
Captain
Planet
Planet.
Champion,
Captain Planet.
Captain Bryan.
Heart.
And
Vegan.
so Joe and Jeff were going back and forth. He hits a Coquito clutch on the outside, tried to count Jeff Hardy out, and then he gets in at 9, and then Jeff Hardy gets back in the ring, and he chokes him out in the ring, and then Joe wins. Right. This leads to an in-ring interview with Rusev Day. Everybody, I love Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
Rusev Day. So, and she's asking, what's gonna be? No, excuse me. Get back to the notes real quick. Rusev says that his championship is gonna be great. It's gonna be handsome, just like his beard. And he's such a goddammit, like he's just such a good guy. And he's cutting his promo, and then Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, attacks Rusev, and Lana jumps on his back and starts choking, tries to choke Nakamura out, and then Rusev hits him with a Machka kick, and he falls on top of Lana, who is a WWE competitor, and she sold it like she just got cracked in the head with a steel chair. And a distracted Rusev, is tending to his wife, obviously. Boom, Kinshasa. This is awesome. My only issues with this, why didn't you do this maybe like 3 months ago? Because Shinsuke Nakamura was champion in July, and he didn't get a storyline until the end of December? I'll take the good with the bad, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Because they
Anyways.
had that still storyline with Adrian English.
Dude, that lasted for 2.5 weeks.
And he disappeared.
And then he disappeared.
He's bald.
Shout out to Aiden English, man.
Where are you?
That was
He got a new haircut. He's bald now.
It was a great storyline. They just boom dropped. And then after that, I don't remember exactly which order this in, but I'm gonna just say the Miz segment, backstage segment, came with Shane McMahon,
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
And I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
like this. I did not like the story, but this story, this particular segment, I was like, you know what? I like it.
More of that.
More of that. Because the Miz is just hilarious.
He's like, you gotta wear my attire.
He basically
and got a printout of
Yeah.
Shane McMahon in the awesome attire.
in Miz's
Jordans.
attire. Yeah, and he had the Jordans on too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Miz and Shane in like matching attire. It was a funny segment. Something you should actually go out of your way and watch. It was pretty funny. And this leads to a Mandy what we thought Naomi versus Mandy Rose match. You know, Corey Graves is going all crazy on commentary because he sees Mandy Rose, and we thought it was gonna be Mandy Rose versus Naomi, but Sonya Deville hopped in and just started attacking Naomi. So then I guess we got Naomi versus Sonya Deville wrestling.
Who's
Um,
booking this crap?
I don't think it was badly booked because it is built off a storyline. It is built off the fact that last week on the Christmas episode, Jimmy was backstage and he happened to run into Mandy and Sonya were under mistletoe, and Mandy tried to get some smooches on it. Naomi wasn't having it, and she went all ghetto on her. I hate that. I do feel like I didn't like that segment because I felt like she just kind of wilded out. She kind of just went like
Crazy.
stereotypical black girl. That's what I felt when I watched it. She went very stereotypical black girl.
She
But
wanted
she
to
had
rock
reason.
on it.
She had reason 'cause that's her husband. But you could have handled it in a different way.
It's a storyline.
It's a storyline. So
Gotta
that's
get
why.
creative. Gotta relate to the fans.
I
and
mean,
everything
we're
like
all
that, so-
urban here.
And
We're all
we
urban
know.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
We know damn well that's how the fuck we would have reacted.
And I
Yes.
and I see what they're doing.
Yes, we will.
And I see
We're
what
all
they're
from
doing
New
with
York. We're from the inner city. We know we would have reacted the same way. That was
Maybe.
real to me.
it. This is true. Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like it
And-
relates to the fans.
And I do like the way it is multiple.
First of all,
another
she'd have
women's
broke her
story.
ass up before she even got to the picture.
Oh, don't worry. Oh, the
Well, we'll
plot
see what
thickens.
happens
Yes, the plot thickens.
Tuesday
So
with that one.
excuse me, Sonya and Naomi are in the ring, and Sonya's on the outside. Excuse me, Naomi and Sonya are in the ring, and Mandy's on the outside, just kind of distracting her to a point where she grabs the mic, starts cutting a good old promo, and reveals that she sent the picture to Jimmy, slid all up in his DMs, and sent the picture of her in a towel. Now I understand once again.
I picture her tight
It's
as
great.
O'Neal sliding.
Yeah, she
The world
She had the
slide
world right
into,
into these-
into that DM.
She went feet first on that end. She went feet first. You know what I'm saying? Slide up in there.
Yeah.
The only thing it was funny that her towel picture, the towel was covering her up more than her actual ring attire.
You know what's funny?
So
It
it
Yes.
was just like
It reminded me of old SmackDown 2
it did. It did.
where you get to finally get some attention from the woman. All you hear is doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And she just walks into the screen like that's how I felt. Like, mind you, she was wearing less in the ring than she did in the towel
Exactly.
picture. So,
That's why it was just
That's
like.
why it's so funny. It's like, really?
But we see
like, girl,
what they're
send me a
doing.
picture of your wrestling gear.
that would have been more scandalous.
No, but I love the fact that her wrestling gear,
Mhm.
she was wearing the Uso
The
shirt.
Uso
I
shirt.
forgot to mention that. Yeah, she took
She,
off her
was
she
shirt.
day
took
one.
off her shirt and had
She was a
day
day one.
She was a
one.
day one. So like.
Which was really cute, by the way.
So there
They should
are
cut it
things.
up.
It's cool things they're doing with it. Just you can just tighten little things up like that. Like, but it's a good story. We love what you're
Anything
doing.
that he does
This,
is cute.
do you realize
Of
this is
course.
two women's SmackDown stories, two different going at the same time? It's like one of the first times it's happened in a real long time.
On
Two
SmackDown,
two,
because that
separate,
happens on Raw
two
every week.
separate women's SmackDown shows going at the same time. Like I'm gonna applaud that.
But I feel like the women's in SmackDown, their storylines are more interesting than Raw women's
Yeah.
division.
That's because you have
Like,
the man
like
Becky
what's
Lynch
really
and
going
Charlotte.
on in Raw's women division right now?
It's true. And
And
yeah,
then you got the men.
because Becky and Charlotte's story is like the most interesting in WWE. Period.
I
Like,
mean, as
just the
far-
women's
they're
division.
as far as
feud
Raw goes,
all over. Like
Damn
it
near
was great.
anytime Ronda gets in the ring, it's just worth watching just to see her growth.
Yeah.
And I do not disagree with you. SmackDown definitely has the better women's storyline going on.
Uh-huh.
But anytime Ronda laces those boots, the
Yeah.
eyes are there.
Raw has the wrestling aspect when it comes to the women's division, but again, you have to have both
Yeah, it's
storyline
true.
and a
It's true.
finisher
No. this
off the storyline. And it's like, no, I applaud Ronda Rousey. She
You know
has
what it is?
grown a lot.
Raw-
Yeah.
She's getting on top
Raw
rope.
has done.
She's throwing herself outside of the
She
ring.
sells like a
she's
mug.
doing it
yeah,
all.
she's good.
Is that
You know?
Raw's been laying the groundwork for the tag team division more so than SmackDown. And I think that's the biggest problem on Raw since they've been doing it so long without those titles in the picture.
Mm.
But now that's why we're getting a tag team
Women's tag, yeah, that's gonna be
I've been
interesting.
fiending for that.
We need
Yes.
more of
We
that.
all, yes, we
More.
do.
So the match ended with the distracted promo, and Sonya Deville hit a move on Naomi that looked like it hurt her more than it did Naomi.
She
Yeah,
did the
I saw that.
elevator,
It,
but
she got to clean up a little bit.
she needs to move the arm though.
Yeah,
because
'cause
it looks like she's giving them a BBT.
Yeah, exactly. And then next we got a returning John Cena. Doo, 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 doo.
With the hair.
Yes, with the hair. John Cena and hair. You know what's funny thing? I swear to you, I have a return. In my notes, it literally says a returning John Cena came out to his mixed reaction as he always does, hair and all.
With the JBL hair.
Oh my god, he looked like Chucky for the Rugrats. What's going on with his
It's
hair?
John Cena and hair.
What's going on with his
So,
hair?
what I liked about John Cena and hair is he pulled the B-Rabbit. He basically came out and said, listen guys, my hair is kind of crazy. My girl dumped me and I haven't been around. Who wants to come out and challenge me now? So it's
And
just
that's
like,
why I feel like that took away from what Becky Lynch said to him in response, because she said her normal stuff. I'm the man. I'm here. I'm taking your spot. Drop you quicker than Nikki Bella. It's like he said that.
I agree, but it's the way she said it. It's the way she went about finally getting to the inevitable point that we knew that she was going to get. So yeah, this led to John Cena said, what man is going to step out, not realizing that the man was going to come out. Becky is gold. Becky can at this point do no wrong. So Becky comes out, does her thing, and this led to Selena Vega come out, and which I loved. I love this. I just wish that Andrade Cien Almost would get a goddamn victory. So when you see Andrade Cien Almost, it's like, oh shit, he probably can beat John Cena, but we can't buy into it because Andrade's gimmick it's not his gimmick, but his gimmick is basically I come out and have good matches, but I lose.
Yeah.
For now.
Tranquilo.
As much as I love it, like
For now.
put him
Because they-
over, make him win.
What I liked about that segment
Win.
the most was they gave Selena Vega the mic.
Yes. Oh, Selena
So-
Vega is dope on the mic.
I appreciated
she's
that
great on the mic.
segment just for that.
She's great on the mic.
She
Boy,
said,
Talking about that,
"You're
congratulations
gonna
to
be
her.
born
Word.
And Aleister Black.
Oh yes. He got
Congratulations.
married.
Lucky
They got
man.
married.
I like it.
That's an interesting pair.
That
Like,
is.
I didn't-
when that was
When I
thrown,
found
was
that
like,
out, I was like, what?
That made that match that she had with Aleister Black and Andrade and
More
NXT made more
interesting.
interesting when you see the jumper and how that whole dynamic worked out. That's
now we
interesting.
know.
Exactly.
But
Now we know.
congratulations.
But yeah, just make Andrade win. Selena Vega said a line. She said, WWE said they were going to be new faces. The only thing I see is a new older face in John Cena and a broken face in Becky. That was a really good line.
Yeah.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Yeah.
Yeah, because John Cena's looking horrible now.
He needs a haircut.
So yeah, this led
He
to the
needs
match.
more than a haircut.
It was a
He looks like an old dad from Walmart, like that you bump into at Walmart.
I think what's
You
the
look
best.
like Marky Mark.
Yeah, it's the hair. That's
Mark
it.
is
I think
the
it's
hair.
the hair.
beyond
Yeah, it's the hair.
his.
But he makes fun of it, so I think it doesn't negate it, but it's just like
I mean,
it's John
now
Cena in
now
hair.
we understand why certain
It's for a
wrestler
movie.
goes bald. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
But it's
No, Stone Cold
it's-
had the golden locks.
He had the
He
golden
the
locks.
locks.
His hairline
But after
started
a while,
receding.
it was like,
Yeah, his hairline
you know
started
what?
receding.
He played it smart. It was like, you know what? Just gonna get rid of it and
Them
look.
golden locks were stunning. Just wanted to say that.
Stunning
Austin.
Steve.
Son of Steve Austin, Hollywood Blondes, baby. Hollywood Blondes, baby. Our recipes for Brian Pillman. But they had a good match. Like I said, Andrade, he always gets over, looks good in the match. And at the end of the match, when Cena's about to wrap it up, hit the AJ's favorite move, the golden punch. I forget what the hell it's called, but pow hits him with that.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Pow right in the kisser. That's
Right
what we call it.
there.
That's what we call it. The pow right in the kisser. Becky comes, throws him out of the ring, slaps the disarmer on Selena, and takes the victory. I love this because this isn't the first time.
Ultimate belt face.
Beltimate Bellface. We got Beltimate Bellface back. Let's get an interview with Beltimate Bellface.
I'm sorry. I heard some blasphemy that kind of knocked me unconscious for a few seconds.
But this is funny because Becky did this during the Troop show. They had an impromptu show. Charlotte went in there, worked over the entire match. Becky got in the end, slapped the disarmer in, got the tap out and won. So that's kind of Becky's thing. It's hilarious. End of the match, Cena went, dap her up, and Becky just hit him with the boom and just walked out.
You can't see me.
Because Becky's gold. That's why.
Honestly, I feel there's a little tension going on between
There is
them
some-
though.
I
There's
mean,
something going on
Man,
between.
John Cena, get
both of
yours,
John Cena
man.
giving everybody the rub. So you know what I'm saying? He been
I
everybody
mean,
the rub.
but you kind of felt it. Like it was just like, where is
He's
this
so
gonna go?
Becky,
It could
get
go-
yours.
It
You
could.
know what I'm saying?
If John Cena's gonna stick around for longer, that would be an interesting dynamic. But Cena's off to Hollywood. Funny how Think about that line. Think about a couple of years ago that feud with The Rock.
He's been apologizing left and right.
Full
Yeah.
circle. So next we get a backstage segment with Triple H, and he's going up to Asuka. Asuka wins my heart every time. So he comes up to her and he's like, Asuka, you know, you're a champion now. Congratulations. Who are you going to face? Asuka. It doesn't matter, because nobody is ready for... I just love her. Asuka is just... She's
You know what's
awesome.
funny?
She just dances everything.
Becky
She just...
threw a pot shot at her
just-
over the
boom,
weekend
boom,
too.
boom.
She said like your reign is pretty much like irrelevant and like it wasn't as prominent as it was when I had it.
This is kind of true, but at the
She
same
started.
time, Charles Asuka hasn't really had a chance to really defend it against anybody. So,
Yeah.
but Becky is just, her energy just draws everybody. So no matter what, she doesn't even need, at this point, Becky doesn't even need the belt. She doesn't need the belt.
She
My
needs
point
to
is great.
go-
She can just
Bring
be,
her ass to Raw
you know
already.
what I'm saying? So that is so. That Charlotte Flair came in the picture, who has a legitimate gripe. Becky came in there because Ronda pushed the ladder over, so both have legitimate gripes. And Carmella was in the picture, and Carmella's really been getting over R-Truth with the whole dance breaks and all that. So and Carmella's also been getting better in the ring. So I wouldn't mind seeing
I've always
Carmella.
liked
in there.
Carmella.
I think they should do like
She's
a number
money.
one. That they should do a match where Carmella can get her way in it, so it can be like, oh, she earned her way in it, instead of just like, hey, I'm in there.
Probably, if anything, if they're gonna follow up with what Raw did,
Mm-hmm.
Fatal Five Way. Number one
Maybe
contender.
that would be interesting. What, Naomi, Carmella, the Iconics, and Sonya Deville and Mandy in there, and then I guess you have Carmella win or something like that to determine the
And
winner.
Nikki Cross.
If she makes her debut, hopefully soon.
Chaos.
Well,
Well, I feel like they're gonna come during the Royal Rumble. It makes sense.
That would make sense.
It makes perfect
For
sense.
Sanity to really be Sanity, they should have.
Ooh.
They should have.
I
They
think-
should.
Imagine Nikki wins the Rumble.
Here's my prediction.
Nikki
Here's my
versus
prediction.
Asuka?
Nikki wants to
At
play.
least one NXT call up that they announced is gonna be in the Royal Rumble.
Well,
Either
that's a
man
fact.
Yeah,
or the
absolutely.
female.
Absolutely.
You just gotta
That's a
figure out
fact.
which one. it is.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna
Probably EC3.
I'll tell you something after we go off there. This led to a backstage segment with the new AJ, like I say, the real AJ Styles, and Shane McMahon's basically telling Vince, no, you don't want to really tempt him, because I had a match back with him at last WrestleMania, and he whipped my ass pretty badly. So, or the WrestleMania before that. But so then, yeah, because this tension built up with Vince McMahon basically pulling one out the Young Bucks. I'm guaranteed. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Vince was watching Being the Elite.
You know what?
'Cause
I
he was
was,
de- he was
I was
gonna say-
watching that episode yesterday, and I felt the same. I'm like, he just
More that.
WWE
More
did
that.
this the other day.
I
twice.
swear to you, I thought Vince was laying when he was laying on the ground when AJ hit him with the shot last week that he was gonna say more of that. When he was laying there, I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, more of that. I swear to you, I thought he was. So AJ Styles got this new attitude, just like AJ said. They're kind of doing the same storyline with Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. They're both having this new attitude. Hopefully, in my wildest fantasy booking, hopefully this leads to a really fired up babyface AJ Styles that's not going after a WWE Championship, that has a special match with Kenny Omega at WrestleMania. Sounds wild, but you heard the quote that I read earlier, and they're looking at Kenny Omega, so it's not as wild as it sounds.
3.5 mil.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me the money Shay's just thinking about it.
And in the main event, we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus Joe versus Mustafa Ali, SmackDown's new signee, now claiming he's the heart of SmackDown. And all of these guys have promos.
Kind of big to say.
That
right
is, but they're putting him over in a way that if he gets certain victories, he actually
That's
can
his
be.
gimmick.
That's his gimmick. I actually like it. And they got the little LED thing on his heart. Yeah, hey man, you wouldn't be done at NXT. Oh, I just sent a shot at
Oh.
at Dream. I'm just saying though. I'm just saying. AJ had a lot more aggressive. Was a lot more aggressive in this match than usual. So he's starting to show that flair. It was a fast-paced match, non-stack. AJ wins with a 450 on Randy Orton, and AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble. Captain Planet versus the phenomenal one at Royal Rumble for the Planet's champion.
Yes.
The Planet's champion.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. But yeah, man. That was SmackDown. That was the A show. Who beat out Raw in the ratings this week? Just wanna put it out there.
Power right in this.
Yeah, from the A show. Ooh,
You want to be out to 205?
Yes.
We got to 205.
I'm excited because I don't know what happened on 205 Live, so
What
I'm
happened
very
to
excited.
205?
Yes, let's see what happened on 205 Live.
Well, when 205.
You don't know what happened in 205?
I was in Japan this week, bro. All right, I was in Japan this week. All right, bro. You gotta
Yes.
excuse me, okay? I was in Japan this week. I will.
If you're not watching 205
We're gonna start a
Live,
sim count meter on this.
Alright.
you better start watching it because it's getting good.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so 205 starts out with the Loser House Party coming out.
Lucha.
So Kalista comes out and he's gonna face the man of the hour, the 24-year-old piece of gold, Lio Rush. My man.
My man.
Obviously, it's gonna be a very fast-paced match.
Mhm.
Lots of flips and running around and such. But honestly, I wasn't really into this match like that.
Really?
To tell you the truth, I felt like it was something like an average match between Kalisto and Lio Rush, and they really didn't do anything.
Average match?
An average match.
Mm.
Like they didn't do anything to make me feel like, okay, I'm interested.
Really?
But then again, I really don't like Kalisto like
Do you
that.
think maybe it's a build for something in the future, or this is just they just weren't having like a
This
kind of
I think
this match
Kalisto
right
has
here.
like fake Rey Mysterio syndrome. Like people look at him and like,
you
is he
can't
Rey?
help you can't help
Is he
but
Rey?
you can't help but think about Rey Mysterio like
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he's really good though.
So this match was basically to have a spot at the Fatal 4-Way that's gonna happen at the Royal Rumble pre-show most likely.
Ooh, unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately for 205.
Facts. 'Cause it's
So
good.
let's get into it. Kalisto did a fall-away moonsault from the second rope, which means he had Lio Rush and did a moonsault off of that. That was a good spot right there. Then tried.
Wait, was that a Spanish fly or a moonsault?
It was like a fall-away slam. You know how they put you on the, and then they do the fall-away slam like that.
Oh, okay.
But instead of letting him go, he did the moonsault with him carrying him.
Oh, that's a fire visual. Yeah, I definitely.
That was a good spot
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But Kalisto tried to do this Salida del Sol after that. Lio Rush reverses it into a spinning kill switch.
Ooh.
Which basically that he set up the kill switch. Kalisto try to reverse it and then he spins it back around into the kill switch. Leo went for his finisher, but the Loser House Party distraction with party rattles, allowing Kalisto to hit the Salida del Sol for the win.
Nice.
So now Kalisto has been added for the Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble for the Cruiserweight Championship. That's gonna happen at the Royal Rumble pre-show.
He's just calling it out.
I'm just
It's
saying
gonna
that
be
right now.
on the pre-show.
It's gonna be
He's
on the
just
pre-show.
calling it out.
Let's call it Ace of Ace right here, right? So backstage interview with Drew Gulak. He claims Akira and Brian got lucky from their street fight because of the stipulation, and there won't be any weapons in the match, and he will make Akira tap out. So after that, Drake cuts a promo saying that new cruiserweights from all shows are now eligible to compete on 205 Live.
Ooh.
All cruiserweights from all shows are now able to compete on 205 Live.
What does that mean? People who
So that
are
means
in
we
205?
might get some NXT.
You might get some NXT,
UK.
and then NXT UK, some SmackDown,
Technically,
maybe some Raw.
To be honest with you, I know it sounds. Balor is a cruiserweight.
Yeah, take it off.
I think.
Aleister Black is
Aleister Black is-
at the 205 limit if he just loses a couple.
Well, you know
There's
who?
a
You
lot
know
of
what's
people.
funny that you say that. You know who just said they made 205 weight?
Who?
Can you hear it?
Yo.
Are we ready for
Are
the
you kidding me?
experience on
Exactly
205?
202 pounds.
Do you know
I saw that today.
Do you know how much that would elevate 205 Live? So many people would start watching 205
Yeah.
Live. If Velveteen Dream, if the experience came on, if we had a
Can you hear it?
experience. That would be dope. Yeah, that would be dope.
So like I said, on 205 Live, let's get into the next match. The next match is gonna be Gulak versus Akira Tozawa.
For a better 205 Live.
Drake Maverick has barred Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick from being at ringside. So it's definitely gonna be just a one-on-one match to determine who gets the last spot at the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight Championship at the Royal Rumble pre-show.
More of that. More of that. Folks.
More of that.
More of that.
So it starts off with some change submissions, grappling. Gulak acts like he's scared to get under Akira's skin. There's more chain grappling. It's a pretty long match, but it's a really great match.
Something that people
Gulak-
definitely need to go out there with.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch that match. Gulak does a lot of submission technical moves there.
He's a good
Akira
wrestler.
Tozawa with his high flying. It was a great mix. One of the things that happened was Tozawa was going for a senton and Gulak hits him with the foot and throws him in the turnbuckle, and Gulak goes for a superplex. Akira throws him off and does a senton for the win.
Nice.
So that was pretty good. It was a really good match.
That sounded like a good match.
I need more of Gulak and
More of
Akira
that.
Tozawa.
More of that. More.
So after the match where it shows that Akira Tozawa is gonna be going to the Fatal 4-Way, we have a promo
Yeah,
from
but a lot of
Cedric.
that going on the brands now.
Yeah.
Well,
Fatal 4-Ways and all these number one contendership.
it's
That's
weird.
why I say women's fatal, fatal four
You know
way,
what's
fatal
weird?
5-way.
They kind of get in time of periods of year where they do that a lot. Remember the review and like we just got like
Well,
this
there's gonna
match,
be a lot more
like,
number one
like
contenders
five
matches
ways
with
of
the new
randoms.
no rematch clause gimmick they got going on.
That's good.
All right.
More of that.
So Cedric cuts a promo saying that he's
How
gonna.
did you feel about Cedric's promo?
It's better.
It's better.
It's better.
Ugh.
That's what we need. We need more of that.
You could tell that he was really mad and everything. And before, when he used to do promos and he would be mad, he would just act like his own self. But it seems like he got some acting classes,
Yes.
and now he's like projecting his anger
Yes.
towards Tommy and such.
More of that.
So-
Yes,
more
but-
of that.
Because that's one of the biggest things people bitch about. Oh, my favorite star, he's awesome in the ring, but he does not captivate people.
In 2019,
When he
you
speaks.
can't just be a good wrestler. Everybody's a good wrestler.
And
Everybody's a good
that's what a lot of these guys don't understand. You have to have kind of a full package deal. And unfortunately, not all of us are gifted in that way.
Yeah, that's why I had to ask him. I was like, how did you feel about the promo? I'm glad to hear that Cedric Alexander's promo.
That's the only problem
If
I have
he
with
gets-
Cedric.
if he
He's
gets
amazing in the ring.
If he gets that part of
But
his
he
game,
doesn't captivate me at all. As
So-
far as his promo work.
So Cedric is basically hyping up the next week's match, which is going to be Tommy versus Cedric for the last spot in the Fatal 4-Way for the Royal Rumble spot of the Kickoff Show.
Damn, I kind of don't want to see a Tommy lose.
I know.
The Tommy's like so underrated. The creator of the GTS, like
Maybe that'll probably add to his storyline. So maybe Cedric will lose. That would add to a story. That would add to a storyline. That would add to his anger.
So right after his promo, they cut to Davari cutting a promo, hyping Tommy, telling him that next week Alexander is going to get a lesson in respect when it comes to Hideo Itami as 205 Live closes,
More of that.
which was great. I think that Davari won that promo round when it comes to Alexander. I think Davari is very well spoken. He knows what to say to get a promo over. I think that him being the manager to Tommy is a great sense. Tommy really isn't that good at English,
Yeah.
so now Davari's there. He can help him out with the promos and such. And Davari's great when it comes to that promo work.
Nice. So he can convey what Tommy would usually say. I think they still, just like kind of like we do with Asuka sometimes, let him speak a little Japanese. So what? Nobody understands it. So what? Doesn't matter. Just let him say some.
Just put subtitles.
Subtitles.
Like
You can do that. And it just sounds badass too. Like when Asuka just all of a sudden, and it's like, I don't know what she said,
well,
but
I
she
want
probably
to give
kicked
a
her ass.
not to interrupt you. We actually have people commenting on the YouTube channel. We have
Hey.
Timothy Farley from Armbar Audio.
Oh,
Shouts
that's
out
my
to-
guy on Armbar
Yo,
Radio.
showing us support, Tim.
Yes.
Hello.
Thanks for watching.
Shout out
and
to
tuning
Tim
in.
on Bar Radio. What's going on, guys? We were supposed to actually do an end of the year stuff, but sorry, we got caught up. I'm pretty sure
way
guys,
too many things.
you guys got caught up doing your own award show. We got caught up doing our
Shout
own
out
show.
to Rose Abraham also chiming in.
Hey.
I'm just seeing the flood of messages now.
What's going on,
She's actually been
people?
listening since the AEW stuff. So
Hey.
shouts out to Ross Abraham.
Hey, what's going on? Everybody give applause for Ross. Hey.
We love our fans here.
Oh, this is the night. So you know we watch wrestling while we're watching wrestling. And this is the night that Sean decided that he was going to be a dick and decided to go over to British Bulldog when British Bulldog decided to dedicate this match to his sister who had cancer, who eventually ended up dying like a couple of months
Oh,
later
man.
after that. Man, and Shawn Michaels decided he needed to go over. What a dick.
We got
Look at this,
Jeremy
you got-
Ortiz. What's up? What's up, Jeremy?
What a dick.
Who knew Shawn Michaels could be such a dick?
Who knew that? 90s
Uh,
Michaels?
You see, you were allowed to throw stuff at superstars.
my-
That was like, nope.
Oh, you
Nah.
kicked out. Oh, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So what do we have up next? We have some
NXT.
more NXT.
NXT
And
UK.
NXT.
I'm excited for NXT UK because I've seen some of the pictures. Ooh.
Well, before we get to NXT UK, let's start off at NXT first.
Oh yeah, that'd be war show.
They had their award show. I didn't really watch that. I really wanted to watch what happened at the end, which had the bro.
Bro.
Matt Riddle.
I got my soundbite. Oh man.
The bro, Matt Riddle
Bro
versus
guy.
Cassius Ono.
Bro.
Trying to
Bro.
get redemption over that 7-second loss.
Bro, Cassius Ono and Matt Riddle had a match, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
And as you could expect, it was a very stiff and hard-hitting match, and it was definitely not as short as the last match.
Yeah, I seen this match, but we're gonna continue. Yeah.
One thing that caught my eye was that Riddle actually gave a German suplex to Cassius Ono,
Yes, he did.
and
Yes,
he
he
and
Yes, he
Cassius
did.
Ono ain't no.
Are you
skinny
guys
dude.
happy with the position Cassius Ono is in right now?
I like it.
I think that he needs to get called up to the main roster to be with the bar.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Start the Kings of
That's
Wrestling.
that's
Start the
something
Kings of
really
Wrestling.
different. I didn't
all
even
about
think
that.
about.
Him and Cesaro.
Start the Kings of Wrestling while Sheamus goes out
I
to
didn't
get
even
a
think
world
about
title.
that.
That
That's
and
actually a great idea.
and on the side, kind of keep that on the side, kind of. Shane, we're probably not gonna have that much time with Sheamus.
Nah, he's
Probably like in the
Well,
next
that was
year
the
or
whole
so.
reason
Yeah,
between
he's-
the whole bar pairing up to begin with, to give Sheamus
Yeah.
more time in the ring.
Yes,
and
unfortunately, he has spinal stenosis, and those don't know what spinal stenosis is.
Yeah.
Stone Cold suffered spinal stenosis.
Edge.
So it's
It's
we're working on
literally
limited
what
time with
kept-
Sheamus.
It's literally what kept these guys from continuing.
he's on borrowed
their
time
careers.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never thought of
Well,
that, man.
he is probably in the top shape ever. He has his Celtic
Workout?
workouts. He's
I watch it
also doing-
sometimes. Him and John Cena.
He's also doing that DDP yoga,
Yeah.
which I
dude.
can firsthand say it fucking
It
works.
works.
DDP
It
works.
had my back feeling
So you-
instantly good in the week.
DDP what?
DDP, why?
DDPY.
DDP.
Why?
Why?
DDP.
Why?
Why?
I thought we were talking about yoga.
Why?
Bang!
Back.
So anyways,
Back to NXT UK.
so Matt Riddle makes him tap with the
Oh,
bro
excuse me,
mission.
regular NXT.
So like I said, Matt Riddle makes him tap with the bro mission, which is that's what he's calling his
Putting
mission.
him over really
Bro
hard. Yeah, the bro
mission.
mission.
The bro mission.
Dude, Matt Riddle's somebody in 2019 to keep your eye out on. I'm trying to tell you, 2019 is gonna be a big year for the bro.
I applaud him. He's the first ever wrestler to wrestle barefooted.
I don't
Literally.
think so.
I'm
Wait, wait,
What
wait.
about Rusev?
What about Umaga?
Rusev.
The Samoan Bulldozer!
In the modern day.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom, in the modern day.
In the modern day.
Nah.
Yeah, in the modern day.
In the modern
Yeah,
day,
in the
but
modern day
now.
now, he is the
Nah.
only one doing it
I think-
barefoot.
No,
I think Haku-
Rusev didn't wear
When he
shoes.
debuted, right?
In NXT, he didn't wear shoes. That's
Oh, right.
And
he
then,
had
and
the
then,
Umaga feet
and
tape.
then, and then, what was Enzo and Cass were saying something about that he doesn't wear shoes, and then Enzo's like, "That's right, you better start wearing some shoes."
And then he wears boots like.
I can imagine like the way Enzo would say that just sounded.
Oh.
But I don't think he will. end
Timothy
up
Timothy
changing
has a good
his
point. What
business
about
card.
Kamala? Kamala was definitely
Yeah,
barefoot all the time.
Kamala, yeah,
Good,
man.
good shout out, Timothy.
Great
Word.
job, great job, great job. More of
There
that,
you
more of that.
More of that.
So at the end of the match, Ono looks defeated. After the match, Riddle extends the bro fist, which Ono rejected. Whatever, he retreats to go to the back. However, he looks back and see Matt
Jimmy
Riddle
Flash
celebrating.
Bender, that's another one.
So Ono goes back to the ring to extend his own bro fist. And Matt Riddle, you know, being the bro, the king of the bros, he's like,
Bro.
"What's up?" And then out of
You know
nowhere,
who
Cassius,
Matt Riddle reminds me of?
who?
You ever seen Finding Nemo?
The
The
turtle.
turtle?
So,
Bro.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, tell me he doesn't. He's like the human
Kid-
form
kid-
He
of
always
that
does
turtle.
it. That's why he always does that laugh. Like, that's why he always does that laugh.
So, as Riddle's giving him the bro fist, Ono grabs his hand and just throws him into the turnbuckle, and then takes him outside, and then throws him into the stairs. The crowd is chanting, "You're still fat," to Ono, being completely disrespectful.
Damn.
That man has a
That
thyroid
crowd.
issue, man. Right? That man has a thyroid issue. So Ono then throws him to the stairs again and gives Matt Riddle a rolling elbow, and then he mocks the bro fist. Like he's like, like
Yeah.
bro fist and shit like that.
Mhm.
So while the crowd chants, "You tap out" as NXT ended.
Oh man,
Good show.
the crowd is vicious.
Very
Like,
yeah.
calling catches on them, just so
Yeah.
fat.
It was basically an award show of NXT. They just showed the 5-man match from New Orleans.
It was an extended NXT.
Yeah.
It was, the last 10 minutes was the
Was the actual match. Yeah,
so
yeah.
you might want to
So
just fast forward.
we'll probably be back to regular NXT
Had great highlights though.
schedule. Yeah, and, you know, on a house show, they have Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle. So
Adam
might
Cole,
we might be starting to see
baby!
that. We might be starting to see that soon. But we got NXT. Are you okay?
So let's start off with NXT UK first match. Tony Storm. Hashtag we support Tony.
We support
Are
Tony.
we taking our shoes off?
no shoes off today.
Oh no,
Oh,
not
so
today.
you got away from Nicole. You got away from Nicole.
That's next week. That's next week.
Next week.
Next week?
Next week.
Oh.
So Tony Storm is facing the Virtuosa, Diana Pizarro,
Love her.
Ooh.
Love her.
which is also the girlfriend of Marty Scurll.
Yes.
Hey.
In case you didn't know that.
Shouts out to Marty
I
Scurll.
did not know that.
Hashtag-
Whoop, whoop.
The
High-waisted.
lone soldier.
The Lone Soldier.
That, you have you
Yeah,
seen
the
Marty's new shirt?
The
Lone
Lone soldier. You got the villain enterprise on the side. I might have to trade in one of these shirts.
Also, I mean, but he got Bruiser Brody in
Not
PCO.
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody. I said Bruiser Brody.
Bringing it back. We had
Rest in
time
peace.
machines.
Rest
Rest
in
in
peace.
peace, Bruiser Brody.
I'm thinking.
Brody
About,
King.
sorry, I'm thinking about Chris Jericho because he's like the modern day Bruiser Brody. That's why. But Brody King and PCO there. So it's
Yeah.
cool. I got to see both of them at ICW a couple of months ago. So that's awesome. I didn't know really who they were. So it's awesome to see what they've done just in a couple of months.
So the crowd is definitely behind Tony Storm throughout this whole match. She's basically the baby face of this
Super
match.
babyface.
Great submission exchanges to
You know,
start the
sad
match.
to say, but her current situation would probably make her even that much of a star, Tony Storm.
When
The
she
fact
It's
actually
like a double-edged sword.
In all these situations with the leaks, as far as like Charlotte and every page, even the fans
yeah.
have been
Paige,
behind
yeah.
her since the moment like it happened. I know
Yeah.
the fans when it happened to Paige, the fans were kind of assholes about the
because of
situation.
the sex tape. That's why.
That's
why.
also
honestly.
same thing with Tony Storm.
I thought it was just nudes.
No, the
It
little
was
video and everything.
too.
Video
So,
too,
but
man.
they're championing behind her. So I think they should double down on her being a babyface and use it to their advantage. And
I wouldn't be surprised if she won the UK title.
I think she's getting.
I wouldn't be
she-
surprised.
I actually,
She's
I
definitely-
literally had
she's definitely
spoilers
good
for
enough.
this NXT UK like literally like 7 shows ago. That's it. I put the spoilers out for what's gonna happen like 7 shows ago. I don't even remember. But it's fine. It's good I don't remember. So I'll watch it and be like, hey, surprise.
So yeah, like I was saying, this match
so
started
we do
because
have viewers and they want us to run down who we are again.
Again.
So we have Mr. Richie Moon.
Okay.
We have Kayfabe AJ.
you got Kayfabe Focus.
And Bullet Queen.
This is the
Melly
Bullet
Mel.
Queen. This is
Melly
the Bullet
Mel.
Queen, Melly Mel.
New
Yes.
to the podcast. For you viewers who are chiming in the chat,
For
we're watching, we're
2019.
listening,
Yes.
and we love the feedback. We
Yes.
love the feedback.
We need more of that.
More of that.
Comments.
More feedback.
comments.
More of that. More of
More,
that.
yeah.
We need more of that.
More of that.
More of that. More of that.
So back to this match. It started off with great submission exchanges to start the match. Tony offers her hand and Deanna kicks it. Deanna starts working the arm and boy does she work that arm.
She works that on.
She works that arm just as hard as Marty would do it. I think
Ooh, she learned. Maybe
she's
learning
a
from.
great
I
she's
mean,
a great
Dylan.
targeter.
I honestly love when wrestling couples actually get together and they hone their craft together.
Have you ever seen Will Ospreay and his girlfriend wrestle together?
No, I actually haven't.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
they-
shit.
I mean,
Awesome shit.
look what you just said. You said Will Ospreay.
Awesome shit.
That man is like the freaking flying Terminator.
Even though he's a funny wrestler,
Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan
and his wife.
and
His hot wife.
him and his hot wife, and you know who also Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae,
and
Joey
Candice LeRae have,
Gargano.
yeah, that's a no
And
Joey Ryan, Candice
Tessa
LeRae.
and Tessa and Ricochet when
Well, Candice LeRae is
Yeah,
Johnny
that's
Gargano's.
Yeah,
wife.
but they used to tag team before Joey Ryan and Candice
Oh,
LeRae.
yeah. Well, actually, right before Candice LeRae joined NXT, she was in that whole situation with Joey Ryan.
Tessa Blanchard and Brian Cage, they go against each other and they tag team together sometimes. So that's a pretty cool. Shout out to Tessa Blanchard. I got a crush with her.
So Deanna, like I said, Deanna starts working the arm and she's really good at it. But Tony gains momentum after a backstabber. She goes for a Storm Zero,
Ooh.
which Deanna reverses it twice.
Ooh.
And then gets her into the Rings of Saturn.
Ooh.
Right in the middle of the
Throwback.
ring.
Wow.
No, but I
Pulling
haven't
that
heard
back.
that. I haven't heard that name rings
I
of
haven't seen
Saturn.
anybody
I ha-
use it. in
Yes, you have.
Oh,
Zach
Zach
Junior's son
That's how you
uses
make
it.
Isha
I'm
type.
saying about
Yeah.
Junior's
We'll get to that in a second.
son.
We're getting we're inching there. We're inching
Yeah,
there.
we're
We're
almost
inching
at the-
there.
We're almost there.
The
We're
sleep
almost
deprived weekend I had.
So Tony
You had.
Yes, yes.
You slept.
A little bit.
You slept.
I woke my ass back.
He slept.
Anyways,
We'll get there.
let's
We'll get
finish
there.
NXT.
Exactly. We'll get to NXT.
Let's go back to
So
NXT.
we can move to Japan.
So Tony Stark desperately inches to the bottom rope to break the hold. Then they start striking each other. Deanna goes for her armbar, but Tony reverses it to the Storm Zero to pick up the win. Rhea comes out, taunts Tony with the women's championship as they go to a commercial break and such.
Nice.
Right?
I hate
It was a great
when
match.
I hate when the commercial breaks kind of like take you out of like
The suspense of
yeah,
it.
like out
But
of
was
the.
it end? Was it the end of the segment?
Yeah, it was the end of the match.
It was, yeah, it was the end
Oh,
of
It was
the
the end of the
okay.
segment. That's it.
Yeah.
But still, it's like you know stuff happens during commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Like if you ever been at the live shows or tapings or whatever, you know
A lot of
more
time-
things
a lot of
happen.
time-
More
And
that.
you just wait
A lot of time the cool shit
until
happens.
either
yeah.
somebody posted up a video or anything like
Why doesn't
that.
anybody do that move anymore? Yo?
Like
Why doesn't anybody do that move anymore?
What move?
The
Who was the Patriot?
No,
He keeps
who
popping
doesn't?
up on my screen.
And he's only and here you know what? It is a segment where Rick Rude throws coffee in his face and we never see the Patriot again.
We have the old road like
this is gonna happen in like 3
But
weeks.
this, we need to do an
Who the hell
episode
is he?
on the mysteries that are yet to be resolved. And
Like who's
who
behind
the hell is the
GTV?
Patriot?
Thank you. Also, the last who's behind GTV, which they need to bring back. They need to bring GTV
we're
back.
definitely champions of GTV.
That's a great way to. That's just a great way to ask.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at the Patriot, he definitely looks like Chico the Luchador.
You know what's funny? I thought he looked like a very buff Lance Storm. I look at him and I see Lance Storm.
I don't know. I
Just
see
a really
Chico.
big
Oh.
version.
The legendary Luchador Chico is right there.
It might be. You think so?
I think so.
Timothy
Ooh.
says Dan
Ooh.
Wilkes. He thinks is his name.
Dan Wilkes?
It's
Dan
most likely
Wilkes.
it.
Dan
Most likely
Wilkes,
it.
known
Yeah.
as the Trooper and the Patriot.
Really?
Oh, he was
The
a trooper.
I don't even want to see his face. I don't,
Trooper.
want to break the mystery. I never seen
When I
his
think
real
of
face.
Trooper, I think no, that's the Mountie.
Yeah, you're thinking about that's
I'm thinking about the Mountie.
really.
Trooper.
I don't want to see his face. I'm gonna break the illusion. I've never known what the Patriot
Yeah,
looked
yeah,
like.
don't show it.
At this point, it's all right. I'll leave that mystery. Some wrestling mysteries.
What the Kurt Angle?
Some wrestling
Kurt Angle
mysteries.
adopted the Patriots' old entrance music.
And
Wow.
that was his music. That was really.
You see
Wow.
now I'm
Wow.
rewatching the old Raws and I'm like, they're using Kurt Angle's music. They probably lost the distribution rights to actually use
Kurt Angle probably
the theme song.
It was in '96.
That's good to know.
At
Thank
this
you.
time, Kurt Angle's winning the gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
With a broken freaking neck.
Broken
That's
freaking
crazy.
neck. All right, so let's continue.
So let's go to the next match. It's Josh Morrell versus the Wild Boar, Mike Hitchman. And they're really hyping up the Wild Boar to be like a dominant person. He comes out with his jacket with spikes on it. I think his eyes are tattooed. That they're all black and everything.
That's weird.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's definitely intimidating to look at. So, Wild Boar is definitely dominant at the start of the match, and repeatedly goes for Josh's shoulder pressure points. He's basically going like this to his
The collarbone right
his
there.
collarbone and such.
Ooh, that really
So
hurts.
after that, Josh gets second win and gets some offices. Does a standing senton bomb for 1 count. Wild Boar goes to the corner and rushes Josh, Josh rushes Wild Boar, but the boar dodges, and Josh climbs the top.
Oh God, I see the Patriots face.
Oh man!
I'm not looking. I'm not
Just-
people.
just-
Oh really?
It just like blew my mind. Like
Nope.
You have to
looks. I can see it. I
of
can
all
see
the
it, though.
people, I thought the Patriot was under that mask.
Nope. Not gonna look.
Well, that's
So yeah, like
Nope. Not gonna
it's
look.
him with hair.
He looks like pick any American Gladiator. This random American
that's
Gladiator
Glacier
too.
right there. So anyways, like I was saying, Wild Boar goes to the corner, Josh rushes to the corner, the boy dodges, Josh climbs the top rope and does a corkscrew sunset flip for a near fall. So after that, Wild Boar goes to the other side, Josh rushes to that corner, but Wild Boar picks him up to do the Death Valley driver onto the
I used to
turnbuckle.
love that move.
And then Boar goes on the top rope for a big splash for the win.
Nice.
Then after the match, you see a promo with Joseph Connors saying that when he first joined NXT, UK. It was
You have
all
a good
at-
one, Timothy. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Tim.
Every Sunday.
Thank you,
for-
Tim.
Bye.
See you later,
So,
Tim.
Joseph Connors is saying that when he first joined NXT UK, it was all we are NXT UK, blah blah blah, and then the new toys come in and it's still NXT UK. But he noticed that instead of it being NXT, we are NXT UK, it should be all about him, and everybody should be on their own, and he will break all the new wrestlers that are coming into the NXT UK. So look out for that. Travis Banks cut your promo on Jordan Devlin and accepts his challenge. Maybe we'll see it soon. Backstage segment with Sid Scala and Fabian Aichner saying that him and his tag partner deserves to be in the tag team semifinals, not Webster and Andrews. Sid is not having that and tells them to leave. So next week we'll see Webster and Andrews, and they will face James Drake and Zach Gibson.
Nice.
So keep that live. In tune. The
How
next
many
match,
weeks do we have until the takeover Liverpool? Is that's during Royal
January
Rumble
12th.
weekend, right?
January 12th.
like 4 or 5, like two.
Well,
Isn't it,
next week.
isn't it January 12th?
That'll be next week then.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Pretty sure.
Honestly, I feel like seeing the next Liverpool takeover will probably give me that lock to
Yeah, because they're just starting to do
Every
live
week,
episodes.
tune
They're
into
just starting to
NXT
catch up
UK.
on live episodes.
It will
It's
be
Blackpool.
Saturday, January 12th.
Yep.
so that's next
Yep.
week.
They're
Yep. Blackpool.
They're just
Well,
starting to
six
catch.
days.
Blackpool.
They're just starting to catch up on their regular.
I
TV,
said Liverpool,
on
right?
their TV
Yeah.
tapings. They were
So,
doing
Liverpool,
TV
Blackpool,
tapings.
any pool, swimming pool.
So the next match we have up next is one of my favorites, the Bomber, Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis. And this is a rematch, and so they have a really bad feud going on right now. As soon as the match starts, Eddie charges Mastiff and gets into the office first. It's crazy how Eddie can dominate someone as big as Mastiff. Because if you look at Mastiff, he's obviously pushing 350 at least.
Mhm.
He's a big dude. So then Mastiff takes
Yeah,
control,
yeah.
starts dominating the match, throws Dennis outside. Dennis just pulls him out and tries to do a crucifix powerbomb to the outside on Mastiff.
Sheesh.
Just think about how strong you have to be
To do a
to
crucifix.
lift Dave Mastiff on the back of your on your back and such. But Mastiff just drops
I
down.
mean, you'd
and
be actually
reverses it.
surprised. That's probably the easiest way to lift someone is putting them on your shoulders.
Yeah, but it's
But
still crazy. 350
Nonetheless, he's a
pounds.
huge dude.
So Mastiff reverses it into a Finley roll and charges into Dennis, but crashes into the stairs. It's almost a double count out until they get to the ring and trade blows. Mastiff accidentally pushes Dennis to the referee and calls a double disqualification, but they don't even care about it. They just continue to fight. Now I just want to break real quick. The referee literally did it. It was literally like here you take Dennis, and the referee just stops the match off of that.
Wow.
Just off of that, just like say like that, and now it's like, you know.
But do we have a Nick Patrick situation?
No,
going
it's not
on?
like a Nick Patrick situation. They just do a double disqualification.
That's crazy.
So, anyways, I guess that was the way of writing themselves out of that hole to make them both look strong. So, you know, they start fighting, and the referees come breaking out. Johnny Sate comes out and is like, at NXT Blackpool, there will be a no disqualification match. The Bomber Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis. So
Nice.
take a good look at that match. That's going to be definitely a show stealer. And then closing out the show, we have the NXT UK Championship contract signing. Joe Coffey from Gallus and Pete Dunne. Coffey said that the reason why Pete Dunne lasted so long was because the Iron King wasn't there to take the championship, which Joe Coffey's calling himself the Iron King. Isn't that great? So so he goes to sign the contract. Pete grabs his hand, slams it against the table, and tells him that he talks too much, and signs the contract. Gallus comes out to distract Dunne as Joe puts him through the table and holds up the championship to end of the show. That's a really good build-up right there.
That sounds like a definitely good.
No, I know
build-up.
who's gonna take.
We have a question from the chat from
Sure.
Ross. They're asking us, what do we think about the bloody tampon move
Oh
What do
God.
we think about that?
Well, since
That is not wrestling.
that's not wrestling at all.
Keep that shit away from wrestling.
I mean,
As a Mae Young Classic competitor, she should know better to do things like that because she's already on the WWE radar.
that's an easy
And
way
to
to
do
blacklist
that
yourself.
Yeah.
with his career suicide, like now I probably won't expect her from any other promotion that takes itself serious.
Was that even was that a work or?
It was from what I'm hearing, it was a work that it wasn't a real blood tampon. They just dyed it,
Ugh.
but
I just hope it wasn't. Real.
But-
like
I
coming
mean,
from
I thought Mr.
female
Saka was
state of
drawing the
mind
goddamn
on
line,
that
but
one.
but
I
that's
love-
next level.
But I love Hurricane's tweet.
What?
What he retweeted and said, "Was this a first blood match?"
God damn it.
So-
well, it was now Hurricane.
he won the
God
So-
incident that day.
damn it.
You know, good tweet, Hurricane. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he always has gems.
Yeah, that was just like,
So this situation reminds me of the time that Jim Cornette was talking about how Ed Ferrara was booking WCW and they wanted to do an abortion segment, and Jim Cornette is like, why the fuck would you want to do that shit? You gotta have the men who are just gonna be discussing and the women who are gonna be discussing because they're actually showing that, and nobody's gonna get over anything like that. It's basically saying that you know, for the people who already know that is fake, they're gonna be like, why are you doing that shit? And then for the people who think that is real, it's like, oh wow, I can't believe they would show that. Like there's no reason why you should do that. There's like it's not contributing, it's not helping anybody get over.
There's ways to push
It's
the
not-
envelope without having to do stuff like that.
Exactly, like Jim Cornette says, like you could do it in the ring, just don't do none of that hokey pokey bullshit that Joey Ryan does with the dick flips and shit. And
If I
get with
didn't
him
like
when it comes
Joey
to this.
Ryan outside of that little dick flip thing, that actually like him as a character, I'd agree. Because I don't like when he does the dick flip. It's stupid to me.
I don't like the dick flip either.
Yeah.
It's funny when it happened, but when it just every appearance there was a dick flip happening.
That's his gimmick.
There's only two promotions that I would allow that the dick flip in, and that's PWG and DDT.
Maybe
Other than that-
CCW, so we can get somebody to put him through a whole bunch of stuff
Hopefully,
for making you touch his dick.
maybe.
It was, I mean, I'm not saying I like this stuff, but I mean, it was pretty hilarious.
No, it was funny here and there, but it was becoming like all the time. I haven't seen him do the dick flip in a while.
Oh, he always does the dick flip.
Still?
Yeah, that's his gimmick.
Uh,
That's his thing. He's not just gonna stop just doing it.
I'd rather see him do the
Holy
lollipop thing. I find that better than the dick flip.
Technically, the lollipop is the same thing as the
no,
thing.
no.
That is not
no,
the same thing.
No.
It's crazy.
It's the
No.
same thing.
That
No,
is not
He
the
takes it out
same
his
thing.
mouth, he puts it in
No.
his
A
thing.
tampon
Okay.
is inserted
And he puts it
in someone.
He-
It's inserted and is
Alright.
is containing moisture. That is not the same.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying, he
I'd
puts it on
rather-
his
I'd
dick,
rather-
lets it marinate too, and then puts it in
the
somebody's mouth.
the battles of like, you know, when they put a bad thing against a bad thing, you still gotta choose one. I'd rather take sweat than blood.
So you rather have Joey's dick lollipop in your mouth than
Than a vagina juice bloody tampon.
I'll
Yes.
take the bloody tampon.
You're bugging.
I'll take the bloody tampon.
With that being said,
Bloody
we're going
tampon.
to segue over to Japan.
I definitely do
And-
not want any parts
Well,
of Joey running
honestly,
around me.
Comment
Oh,
below
Lord.
on what you thought about that. We would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Everybody like their
I have no comment on that, so that's why I didn't say
bloody con.
Matter of fact, what's the girl's name that did that?
Some Priscilla Kelly.
There you
Priscilla
go.
Kelly? You know what, Priscilla Kelly, what happens when you're in the middle of a match and
You
you're...
know what happens?
You know what happens? Huh? You're in the middle of a match, you put on a bloody tampon in the middle of a wrestling match? Huh? You know what happens? Huh? You just made the list! And I'm writing with an iPad.
On the iPad.
Not even.
I
But,
think you just deleted something.
nah. But we are segueing
Dun, 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 dun.
on to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom weekend.
Wrestle Kingdom!
Boom. So the pre-show started with a 5-man gauntlet, and I think I erased all the pictures. I'm pretty sure I can remember. We had Chaos versus the Elite versus the most violent players versus Chucky T, versus the best friends in Goto versus I'm missing somebody.
David Boy Smith and his
versus
team.
David Boy Smith, David Finley, and I can't remember the last person.
David
Jeff
Finley.
Cobb?
That's somebody I want to
And
see
Jeff Cobb, yes,
more of.
and Jeff
Jeff
Cobb.
Cobb.
And the Elite were the first to go. The only unfortunate thing about Wrestle Kingdom is with the announcement of AEW kind of loomed like a cloud over Wrestle Kingdom
It
a little
sure
bit.
did.
Because we knew,
All of them were losing.
we all know that all the Elite were losing. We knew that we all knew that all the Elite were losing. So the Maccabee, Toriano, and Chaos in the Maccabee, Toriano, who was the other person? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Listen, they won. They got a shot at the 6-man Never Openweight Championship that's happening the next day at New Year's Eve Dash. Now let's start off proper with the show. And goddamn it, the Wrestle Kingdom start off high. Usually when you start off a show, you kind of want to start off with a good balance, something that's going to get the crowd hyped. Everything about Ibushi versus Ospreay was not starting at a medium. They started off at 11 from the scale from 1 to 10. Even Ibushi's was the high spot. He did like the Rey Mysterio, like we jumped up, like sprang him up. And this is for the IWGP Never Openweight Champion that Kota Ibushi has, and Will Ospreay trying to move from junior heavyweight to heavyweight, and the Never Openweight Championship is the bridge between the juniors and a heavy. You can face a junior or a heavy. And this match was crazy. I mean,
They redid that horror movie anime spot.
absolutely fantastic flips and kicks, but really psychotic. Because it started off really fast, but there were a lot of times in the match where they slowed it down because they were putting over how strong Ibushi strikes are, and they're also putting over kind of Will Ospreay's the transition to his new moveset, because moving from a junior to a heavyweight. And I mean, these guys literally tried to kill each other. Go watch this match. There was one time where Ibushi was in a tree of woes, and Will Ospreay was like smacking him. I mean, there wasn't no.
It was an upside down smack fest.
This was a cock your hand back. I mean, Ibushi and Will Ospreay were smacking the shit out of each other. Go back and watch this match.
Those smacks were setting up that concussion, if anything.
And then Ibushi was Shinsuke Nakamura was one of his idols. Hit a Kinshasa on Will Ospreay. Oh my god, that was one of the stiffest Kinshasas I've ever seen. But it was nothing compared to the finish of this match. Will Ospreay hits a Stormbreaker, and then he winds up and hits this crazy elbow to the back of Ibushi's head that apparently gave him a concussion. I'm not sure if it was a real concussion or if it's a work. It looked like a real concussion, but
definitely looked like a real concussion.
it was it was a stretcher job at the end of the first match, and I think it's also if it is a concussion, get well Kota Ibushi soon, and it's a way to write Kota Ibushi off in pro wrestling
for a while.
And this is Japan. Wow.
So we connect.
Oh. We lost Egonaba's Day Japan, and this match was really to put over Shango. Shando Takagi, I don't remember his other name. Takagi. Shango Takagi. And you know, I was watching this match and I was like, is this guy really a junior heavyweight? I mean,
he's pushing it.
He's definitely on that scale. I mean,
he's definitely on that 210.
He's like on that scale. He's definitely on he's definitely riding that scale if he's a junior heavyweight, but the point of this was really to put him over, and they did. And this was LIJ's first win of the night. And we're gonna see Los Egonabas de Japan. I love saying that. I just rolled Los Egonabas de Japan. We're gonna see them. This is one of their first title victories. So now they have the junior heavyweights.
That's good.
We're gonna move on
more
to
of that.
Definitely more of that. One of my favorite matches of the night, one I was really looking forward to. We have the IWGP. We have the Rev Pro British Championship. Hiromu Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, versus Zack Sabre Jr. son.
Which was a good.
Listen,
great fucking match.
These are two of probably the
More
best wrestlers in the world that you don't know about. If you don't know who it is, go look up Ishimori, the Stone Pitbull. He's on my top 5 Kenny Omega's 2 matches 2018. Ding. He's also gonna be on my future top 5 episodes of people that you should look out for. Zack Sabre Jr. This match was crazy. All White Zack. This rivalry goes all the way back to WrestleMania weekend when Ishii beat. When Ishii gained really working over his arms crazy, and Zack Sabre Jr. made Ishii quit. To do that, that's a real that was really saying that Zack Sabre Jr. is the man. We're really putting him over. This is the guy we're gonna go with because Ishii does not quit. If you know Ishii, he does not quit. So for him to say I quit, it was a really big deal. And he, like you said, he ended the match in the Rings of Saturn. I gave this match 4 stars. Can't wait
On
to
the
see.
Ultimate Meter?
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do with Zack Sabre Jr. in Rev Pro and New Japan Pro Wrestling moving forward in 2019. The next match we have is a 3-way tag team match with Evil and Sonata, the winner of the tag team league. The God with the good guy
guys.
Tom, the good guy Tama
Good guy,
Tonga,
Tama
Tama,
Tonga.
with one of the best entrances of the night. I love that
Yes.
entrance. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the good guys. We will be at the Block Party WrestleMania weekend, and of course everybody's favorite, the Young Bucks.
The elite. The elite.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this is the Young Bucks swan song. I hope this is not the Young Bucks swan song, but this is a good match. We've all seen, this was not anyway a bad match, but we've all seen 3 of these teams have better matches. It was still nonetheless a good match. The Tama Tonga was really pulling over the idea that he was a good guy. There was a point where Matt had Sonata in a sharpshooter, and Tonga Lowe was going to go and break it up, and he stopped him. He said, no. That's breaking the rules. We're not cheating. We're good guys now. So it was really interesting. My only issue with that is Wrestle Kingdom is your biggest show of the year. This is when people are going to see you the most. People are used to the vicious, bad boy, badass Tama Tonga, and the way they're trying to put over the new Bullet Club, I think he should have just waited a little bit with this gimmick. But I understood why he did, and I love it because the character work is great. It's different
I
from
don't
Tama
think
Tonga.
they're handling Tama Tonga right at all, to be honest. Because-
I think this whole good guy Tama Tonga thing is a way to generate real heat because everybody wants bad boy Tama Tonga.
Yep.
So in order for him to not give you that, he's gonna give you the good guy Tama Tonga.
Yeah, but that's as far as what he's doing for his character on his own through Twitter and stuff like that.
It's
As far as how
affecting affecting storyline. It's main continuity
He's been in the
storyline.
tag finals 2 years in a row, lost them 2 years in a row, dropped his titles 2 years in a row.
It seems like to me Tama Tonga is not interested in having a single career. So that's why it's just like he's not interested. So if he's not interested,
He'd
then
rather be with his brother.
yeah, there's not. I don't. If he's not interested, then don't make him. Though I agree, should he have went further into G1 to further that whole storyline? Yes, but now, looking at it in
not so much-
hindsight,
he doesn't have
it
to
makes
be
sense.
built as a solo star. He can be with his brother. That's just fine. But when you have him building up the Bullet Club before JY was announced, to have him lose and then they dropped the ball with the Bullet Club Civil War thing.
I don't think they did now. Now looking back at it in hindsight, looking back at it, I changed my stance on that because if I'm running a company, why am I going to put a spotlight on these guys that are leaving?
It's not to put a spotlight on them. It's to put the spotlight back on the club.
But they have been though.
They've
have
done
been.
it through Jay White.
They have been.
But as far as the Gorillas of Destiny,
But
what have they really done since saying, "Hey, we brought Jay White in"? What have they really
They
done?
brought it back.
They
They
had
brought it back to
the
the
tag
old school.
team championships.
They had the tag team championship.
It was walking
They
into wrestling.
they just dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but they just
had
dropped
them.
it. They
They
just
had
dropped
them,
it.
though.
That's my point. You built them 2 years in a row to win this tag tournament, to have them lose.
Because you're building another team. Well, the Young
Because
Bucks got one team.
they're building up Evil and Sonata.
Because Sonata got one of the biggest.
Even
We're going to
helped
get there. Because Sonata had one of the biggest pops of
in
the
that
night.
department because Jericho already gave him the steam he needed.
Exactly why they're pushing Evil and Sonata.
That makes more
Because
sense.
now there's the spotlight's on Evil and Sonata, and they want to elevate the tag team.
And at this point, I mean, they need the belt, but kind of the way the Bullet Club is the way
Bullet
they're
Club is
building.
still your number
They
one selling.
don't. They don't necessarily.
in
Tama
New Japan,
Tonga.
so-
They don't necessarily need. Actually, that's actually not true. Lost Economics. It was just surprising. You would think because we're all Bullet Clubbed out, but surprisingly, Lost Economics is
Second album.
series of cross dodge from inside the ring, outside the ring. When Sonata started getting on his roll, he got one of the biggest pops of the night. Sonata, look out for Sonata. I wish Chris Jericho, because he faced Naito, he faced Evil. I wish he would face
I
Sonata.
would like to see that.
He'll
I
let you
would
down
love
with
to see
one.
that. I really wish he would have because Sonata. I think they're gonna do big things with Sonata in 2019. We'll see. The next match we have is Juice
Ooh.
versus Cody. I like Juice. He's a super baby
I
face
like
in
Juice.
New Japan. Great example of just somebody that didn't work at NXT, went over to New Japan, and became a bloody star. It happens both ways, people. It happens both ways. When people don't work out in NXT and go over to New Japan, if people don't work out in New Japan, go over to NXT.
Just throwing out there Cody's wrestling gear.
though, I just want to. I really can't. What people are really. Another time. Anyway, let's continue on new question. Yeah. Shout out to Cody for the Jacksonville Jaguar themed wrestling gear. I mean,
I don't know why he would do that, but
here's my thing. I love the announcement. We all love the announcement. I just wish they would have waited. I love the announcement. We all love the announcement. I just wish they would have waited until after Wrestle Kingdom for this, because it took away. It like I said, it left this cloud over Wrestle Kingdom, because we know the Elite were gonna lose in the opening. We kind of assumed Kota Ibushi was gonna lose. We knew Cody was gonna lose, and we're edging to the main event. You know, we want to know the results of that. So if they would have just waited, it would have kind of kept the allure. But at the same time, why wait for an announcement like this? So I see both sides. The story of this match was that Cody and Juice have faced each other so many times. So you're gonna see Juice hitting Cody with the Crossroads. You're just gonna see Juice hitting with the Pulp Fiction. So that was a really interesting dynamic. The Bionic Beauty. So that was a really interesting dynamic. The Bionic Beauty, Brandy got in the ring. She hit Juice with a spear because she got a surgical repair.
I love
shoulder.
her spear, by the way.
So do I.
Yeah.
She sells it really good. Other people sell it really good. The referee, they bury the referee sometimes in New Japan. He's seen it, and he kind of he didn't do the big, you're out of here. He just kind of
he ain't NXT UK that shit.
Yeah, he kind of just like, yeah, you kind of just gotta go. And everybody was kind of like, oh, she's leaving now. Instead of just being like, get out of here. Juice ends the match with not one but two Pulp Fictions putting a stamp on it, and this is gonna be a big year for Juice. He's kind of back to square one because this is where he was last year. Hopefully we can do more with Juice. I like Juice. The crowd up here likes Juice. Do more with Juice. Hashtag do more with Juice. Next match we have is Kushida versus Ishimori, and this intro was crazy.
Sick.
Kid Kushida. I have
Best-
nightmares about Kid Kushida.
Best
okay?
entrance of the night.
It was so awesome.
Of the night,
If you
hands
haven't
down.
seen it, it's literally Kushida's gimmick. His shtick is kind of the Back to the Future. He's the time splitter. So we literally have a kid Kushida come out with the mask, and it looked just like grown up Kushida. And he comes out, and all the shout out to the comments.
That mask was well
It
done.
was really well
It was
done.
really
It was
well
hilarious, man. The commentary was hilarious that night. Shout out to Don Callis, shout out to Kevin Kelly, shout out to Chris. Just great commentary. Don Callis kept going on how he thinks that they just blew up the kid. And he just blew up the kid because a bunch of smoke came up, and then Adele Kushida came out. So Don Callis kept going, did he blow up the kid? What the hell happened to the kid? It was hilarious. It was a really good match. We've seen better matches from, not saying that this match wasn't good, but we've seen better matches from both of these guys. And unfortunately, during this match, I just couldn't help but think, damn, Kushida and Will Ospreay had a great match last year. And Takahashi, shout out to Takahashi, well wishes, he broke his neck, he got his neck broken, with him and Ishimori. Ishimori ends up at the end coming out. I gave this match, I actually gave this match 3 stars. Not that it wasn't good, but we've seen better from both of them. Bullet Club bring home the championship, and it's also Kushida. Triple H has had his eyes on Kushida, so in 2019 we might see Kushida in NXT 205 Live or WWE.
You think Kushida's getting the money shakes?
He probably is, because there's really nothing left for him to do in New
When you're
Japan.
throwing 3.5 mil at people,
But see, I would see him going to 205.
Apparently
he
Triple H.
should, and that's what I said when
Highlight.
that
Really
topic
wants it.
originally came up.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be in 205.
He could be, yeah. I mean, and the way they're building up 205 Live, so maybe as long as 205 Live gets more of a spotlight, I don't mind that.
And
Just
it's
more
not
of a
out the realm of
spotlight.
possibility because WWE's trying to actually build an NXT Japan. So
Yeah,
There's a lot of promotions in Japan right
a lot of
now.
promotions,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That's DDT,
Noah,
All
the
Japan,
territories are
Stardom.
back.
Noah,
That-
Stardom.
that's the world we live
Yeah.
in 2019, where
Awesome.
the territories are back.
Dragon Gate.
The next match we have is these last matches I've been calling like all the championship matches. Now, in between the 2 last matches, where they're the IWGP Heavyweight and the Intercontinental Champion, you have a special singles match with Jay White, the leader of the Bullet Club, the Cutthroat Era, versus the return. Well, he didn't return, but this form of him, Kushida Okada, arguably the best wrestler on the planet, the Rainmaker Okada, back to Rainmaker form. And between Sonata and Okada,
The biggest pop of the match.
it was the
were
biggest pop
his
of the
shorts.
night of him returning.
They showed him with his shorts.
And that just shows you how legendary Okada is already. Now, granted, Okada is only like somebody Google. Okada is no older than 34. This is already
I think
shows
it's
you.
36.
This just shows you how much of a legacy Okada has already left. Okada is still very much in his prime. He's still very much in the middle of his prime. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a testament to show you how great Gato's booking is. This match was short. This match was 15 minutes, but in this match, they told the complete story. What I like about this, looking at it from hindsight, Jay White is the way they booked it. I actually like the storyline more than I actually like Jay White, even though shout out to Jay White, the master manipulator. When you look back at it, last January, after Kenny Omega tried to get Jay White in the Bullet Club, after this, Jay White said, the Bullet Club's going to turn on Omega, Chaos is going to implode. And what happened in New Japan 2018? Chaos imploded and the Bullet Club turned on Kenny Omega. So he gave away the whole plot to New Japan storylines last year. Nobody listened to him, and now this is what we got. And the last minute of the match was super dope. Rainmakers reversed into a switchblade. They got reversed back into a Rainmaker, back into the switchblade. Boom, random switchblade, and he won. And even though
It was a good finish.
even though Kato got involved with it, Jay White won clean. So that's really putting over, this is the next guy, this is the guy we're gonna put our stock into. Basically, AKA, in 4 years, WWE will be trying to get Jay White.
To answer your question, Okada is 31 years old.
Okada is 31 years
31
Damn.
years old.
old. Omega is 35. Cody's like 33.
Young
The
boy.
Young Bucks are like 33. What I'm saying, all these guys are young. And in wrestlers, put a lot of perspective. AJ Styles is 43 now, I think. And look at the matches he's having now. Wrestlers don't usually hit their prime for some reason until like they're 39, 40. So what I'm saying
It's
is
work.
we have a lot of time with these wrestlers left. We have a lot, unless God forbid something happens, we have a lot of good prime time of these wrestlers. The next match, one of the most anticipated, Alpha Chris Jericho.
Which
Alpha!
to me
Alpha!
was the best match on the card.
To AJ, this is the best match of the card. Versus Tensei Unaito, the leader of Los Economos de Japan. And what I really loved about this is that as Tranquilo is, as Tenso is, not in this match. Jericho has been beating Naito's ass for basically the last 12 months. He's been beating his ass, Evil's ass, anybody that gets in his way, he's been beating their ass. And at Dominion,
With sneak attacks and all that.
I love the Master of Disguise. The Master of Disguise, Chris Jericho. He's just been killing it in 2018. At Dominion, the match started with Naito coming out, doing his whole suit, tranquilo thing, and Jericho popped on him, beat his ass before he get his suit on. So Jericho's out doing his entrance, Naito right up front, boom, clocks him right in the back, and at the top of the entrance, a jumping spike power driver that you could just hear the on it. It was just nasty.
Oh, the table spot.
We're gonna get to because
yeah,
this match
that was
brutal.
brutal.
Yeah, this
Yes.
match was.
I don't
brutal,
like seeing
okay?
New Japan using tables.
Yeah, because their tables,
Oh.
they're real tables. That's why there's no flimsy. They don't saw it.
No, and they're
it's
smaller.
tables.
That's the crazy thing. And they look like they hurt 10 times worse.
So this was a really good match. I'm gonna go through a couple of spots. Jericho grabbed the camera as he does. He was giving a middle finger. He grabbed the ring bell. He ringed the bell.
Very attitude era.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was so great. Shout out to Red Shoes. He's one of the best refs. And like in the middle of the match, he's just like, I won. He's raising his hand, and there was a near fall in it, and Don Callis was just like, in Canada, that would have been a 3. That's a Canadian 3 and a Japanese 2. Just the announcing team was fucking hilarious. There was one spot. Chris Jericho had Naito up on the table, and he hit him with the DDT, and he literally look at this. Sorry, Nick. Got him with the DDT and stood him up with the DDT. Think of Rod Van Dam the way he used to take DDTs from like Jerry Lynn. That's classic.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know if the
actually
younger
was
dudes gonna get that.
what
That's-
it reminded me of RVD selling.
That's old school Jerry Lynn versus RVD. So yeah, this was a brutal match. Kendo 6 chairs. The last 5 minutes of this match, I mean the whole match was good, but the last 5 minutes was so dope. I thought Chris Jericho was gonna win a lot of times because of near falls. It was Destinos, code breakers. At one point, Naito hit a code breaker. And which I love this, the storytelling of it. If you know Naito, he hasn't cared about the IC champion. And to close out hold up, before we get to the last scene, we call this Chekhov's gun. In the first act, you load the gun. By somewhere in between now and the third act closing, you have to shoot the gun. the beginning of this match, Naito comes in before Jericho gets in, takes off the thing, never plays into it. To the last sequence, Jericho's coming at Naito. He hits him up flapjack on the turnbuckle. Chekhov gun goes off, grabs the IC belt, hits Jericho with it. Destino 1, 2, 3. So the belt that he just been throwing to the side, haven't cared about, is what ultimately helped him win in the end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is goddamn storytelling.
It still
shout
felt like
out to Cops.
it still felt like he didn't care about the belt.
He really didn't, but it helped him in the end. And so
Because
it's like a love-hate relationship.
You see the ref trying to give him the belt, and he's like,
And you know what the dopest thing about that?
Like
because
everyone else.
all of this is playing off the fact that Naito wants to be IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So all while you're spinning this plate, you still have this other plate in the back spinning of when Naito's going to eventually be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. It's storytelling, people. Storytelling. Next up, and by the way, I get it match. I wrote 4 down here, but now I'm recalling a match. Definitely 4.5 stars. Shout out to Chris Jericho, 48 years old, still putting on 4.5, 5-star matches. The fucking GOAT. Our main event, the cleaner, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, IWGP Heavyweight Champion, versus Tanahashi, the Ace.
That's up to
Now you gonna drop the mic again?
It's alright. It was cool because we got to see the finisher, kind of like the Being the Elite thing with Kenny Omega's story that he wanted the Titantron. It finished the story that we saw in Being the Elite with Kenny's quest, which is actually really telling because, you know, Kenny says Tanahashi used the power of the people and the new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And a couple of months ago, when New Japan Pro Wrestling got this new president, a lot of people a lot of New Japan wrestlers apparently got disgruntled with that. So there might be some funny kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is what's going on in real life, things like that they're showing it and they're playing out in real life. So that was really interesting. This match, to me, it was everything you would expect from a Kenny Omega match. If this was your first time seeing Tanahashi, you might be a little underwhelmed. This is his first time seeing Tanahashi. I've seen Prime Time.
not so much seeing Tanahashi, but realizing what his finish was.
His finish is the high fly.
Horrible.
His finish is a crossbody.
Pure
Is that a front
trash.
splash?
I have a soundbite for it.
It's like a 2-star front splash.
basically.
Not for him as a wrestler, but for that move.
You absolutely, undoubtedly, unquestionably, 100% completely suck.
What I really liked about this match is they really made this match feel like a big time feud because in the commentary once again put it over. Kevin Kelly and Don Callis, who were both in WWE during the Montreal Screwjob, said this reminds them of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. They're basically putting over that Tanahashi and Kenny Omega do not really like each other in real life. And if you watch the press conference and you watch the build-up,
Well, Tanahashi
That's
has been
exactly-
outspoken about the fact that Kenny Omega is like Americanizing New Japan. So
that's another element to the story. It's the old school Tanahashi versus the new school, old school versus strong style evolve, wrestling ideologies clashing, and two guys who just don't fucking like each other getting in a ring and hashing it out. You can't get any better storytelling than that. Omega, I love Omega as a face, but if you've never seen heel Omega, do yourself a favor. He is better as a heel. He was working heel so much.
and he's looking more like the cleaner.
He back to the black and gray hair. He took most of this match. I'm not gonna say that he carried Tanahashi, but goddamn,
No, he carried.
I'm not gonna say that.
I'd say that he carried Tanahashi.
He made Tanahashi
Because
look really good.
Most of the high impact stuff came from Omega, and that was my biggest fault with this match. Even if that is his move, it didn't even look high impact to even garner a win.
It's a 2-star frog splash.
You have to thank you, because that's exactly what I compared a good splash to was the 5-star frog splash. Tanahashi's move was just not strong. They should have redid the spot, quite frankly, because
I mean, but at
you
that
can
point,
tell he got caught rather than he splashed.
At that point,
Omega.
this is how much long with the man. That was a 40-minute match. He hit the high fly a couple of times. The one thing that New Japan does, they protect their finishers. So he hit that finisher earlier. Kenny Omega is still feeling damage from that earlier. The storytelling this is that. So Omega goes for the rise of the Terminator. He hits Tanahashi, but he hits a lot of the ramp. So we see Kenny. He hits his back on the ramp hard. So Tanahashi's working over his back. Then he hits Tanahashi with the "You Can't Escape." When he hits him and go for the backflip, he tweaks his knee. It's storyline.
The Dragon Screw. That was the.
Oh my god.
That was the
That was
hardest
hard.
part.
Oh
That was the
my
hardest
gosh.
thing he
That
did
was horrible.
to
So
Omega.
Omega's about to hit the moonsault, and Tanahashi comes and gets like an inverted dragon. But the way he did it, oh my! It looked like he ripped every tendon from his ankle to his knee. It was
Well, his
vicious.
ligament, everything.
Oh, it was vicious. It was and Kenny Omega, he sells it so good. It was really good. Omega in the V-trigger, good gosh, he hit Tanahashi with his V-trigger one
And
time.
these were evil V triggers.
Because his heel, oh
Like,
my gosh, yo. And then, I really think,
You know, like-
I do think there was some kind of heat between them, honestly, because if you watch this match, I watched this match like twice, they didn't throw any punches. They slapped each other the entire time. There was no punches thrown. Each of it was a slap. And they were slapping the shit out of each other. There was no quick no. Tanahashi and Omega were boom, 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 touche, sir. Boom, take another one. Boom, thank you, sir. Boom, I take it again.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Yeah, can I have another?
some more.
Oh, can I have some more? Oh, look at you, look at you. Oh, shut your mouth, you darn wearing fatty. Sorry. Wrong movie, wrong time. But anyway, Kenny Omega never hit the One Wing Angel. Tanahashi broke his own rules. He hit it. Oh my gosh. He went for a high fly through the table, landed hard. We saw that in New Japan tables.
Yeah.
He hit a high fly from the top rope outside. He landed and splattered through that table. He had a huge scratch on his face from that shit. It was crazy. Last 5 minutes of the match was awesome. Tanahashi, he reverses the One Wing Angel, a crazy sling blade, high five flow, 1, 2, 3. And that might have been the last time we seen the clean, unfortunately. I gave this match 5 stars. Meltzer gave it. I think Meltzer also gave it 5 stars. It was 5 stars. It was 5 stars for me. The story to everything, the build up for this match. I mean, the match itself was a 5
The
star.
story was awesome.
It was. I'm not gonna say Omega carried
The
Tanahashi.
finish just
but
deflated it. I can't
It's
give
Omega.
it.
It's Omega.
I give it
style
a
match.
3.75 stars.
I give it a 3.5.
3.25 stars.
I give it 3.5.
3 3.75 stars.
And that's why we all have differing opinions. They think.
It's that the high.
I personally think this is the best
After
match
all
tonight.
V triggers and high impact moves and technical moves that we did through the whole match, that's what ended it.
But you say that, but to the Japanese fans, that's their not even Japanese fans, but that's his finisher.
That's like Cena winning to a 5-knuckle shuffle.
But the AA is trash.
The AA makes more impact than what we saw with that high fly.
I feel you.
Especially when
The
he puts it
power
off
up
the
punch
turnbuckle.
does more impact than power.
That's a guarantee fact. Guarantee.
That's fair. That's fair.
Everybody's obligated to their own opinions.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think it was a 5-star match. Logan, I call him Logan Tanahashi because that's exactly what he like Logan. Now Logan Tanahashi, this is probably his last title run. Which it really should. 8-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Probably gonna go down as the great. Actually, no, he's not because Okada's there. But but yeah, man.
And Inoki.
So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Okada's gonna. He's 31 and what he's already done and what he's doing now.
That's if they.
If you don't know who Okada
That's
is,
if they keep their grips on Okada.
nah, Okada staying.
I still have to put it out there. That video of the video of all the fans in the Japanese bar
It's the
just
best
went
shit ever.
nuts.
For Okada
After he just like did like a stripper dance move type shit.
that
like-
Ripped off his-
shows you.
It's like, wait, what was going? Like literally, I saw that video about 100 times
That's also
already.
a testament to how good Okada is with after him losing the title for having it looked weird without seeing him having a belt. It was almost part of his outfit for him to
Like literally, just starting the match, all of a sudden, big
because he won.
explosion of fans going crazy just because he took off his pants.
It's a testament to Okada's
It's like,
character
what's
work.
going on
Because
there?
now
What's going on there?
it broken Okada. We went from broken Okada back to the Rainmaker. And I think with that, we covered Raw, we covered SmackDown, we covered AEW, we covered
Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
We're gonna do New Year's Dash.
I would go New Year's Dash. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of things didn't happen in New Year's Dash.
The main thing that happened at New Year's Dash
The Bullet Club
is
reunited.
Yujiro and Taysha Owens is back in the Bullet Club. The Boys is back.
The boys are back. We did see a big return. We have a new contender for Naito's IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Chris Jericho did say he's sticking around in New Japan, and he's coming after the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
These two.
And Jay White also got another one over on Okada and Tanahashi in a mixed
That's
tag team
8-0
match.
for those who count.
So this looks like it's gonna be the year of the Switchblade, and I think that's it. And with that being said,
And we're not breathing through the switchblade. That's damn near impossible.
We're gonna go back to this.
we're not gonna go back to that. Goddamn. We're not gonna go back
Of
to
course,
that.
he had to throw that
Goddamn
in.
it. AJ, let the people know where they can find you at.
You can find me at kayfabe_AJ on Instagram, as
Melissa,
well as kayfabe at Livecast on YouTube.
Melissa, let the people know on social media where they can find you at.
So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, you have me on Melissa Naomi Reyes. On Instagram, it is Juju_26.
Juju.
Focus.
Juju on that beat.
Hey, Juju
Hey.
Juju on the beat. Juju on the beat. Hey, Juju on the beat. Okay. Focus so people know where they can find you
You
at.
can find me at kayfabe_focus
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
What about on the Facebook?
Tony Masters on the Facebook.
Also join the newly created Kayfabe Ave Livecast group page on Facebook.
Yes.
We post all our videos.
Yes.
We also give all the updates from wrestling, all
Yes.
the videos.
Yes.
And if we can find the streams for you, we throw the live streams on there as well.
Yes.
We will put the link in the description so you could invite yourself to the group.
Yes.
We're not sure if we might add you or not. You know,
I will add you.
we
We're
might
nice,
not.
We're
We
nice
might
guys
not.
and
We might
gals.
not.
And
We want the community to grow.
The community.
The wrestling
Oh.
community.
Oh.
AJ Styles over here.
goddamn guys.
Definitely join the group page. And of course, like, follow, subscribe.
Please.
A few people chimed into the live.
We appreciate that.
They
Yes.
definitely
Thank
gave
you.
us
Shout out to IG.
a few topics to talk about, as well as gave their opinion on what we were discussing, which was awesome.
Yep.
Tune in every Sunday. We do this as a weekly show.
Yes.
This
We're
weekly
gonna. I think we're gonna
wrestling
officially
every
declaim it live. Are we gonna do live at 5?
Live
Live
at
at
5.
five.
Live at 5. You can find Kayfabe. You can find me, Mr. Richie
Live
Moon.
at 5.
Kayfabe_Av. Kayfabe_Av on the Twitter. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kayfabe AJ. That was Kayfabe Focus. We have our new Bullet Queen, Melissa. I am Mr. Richie Moon. And with that being said, Kenny, take us home. Bang.
Bam.
Hey.